They are 6-2. They have a loss to Midland earlier this year and a loss to Morningside. Those are their two losses so far this season. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Biker. I'll be describing the action to you as it unfolds in front of us here at Open Space Park. For a little bit later on, Kyle Achterhoff will be joining us for his commentary. And, of course, on our pregame show, the Wireless World pregame show, we'll check in with Coach Patrick Daberco for the Concordia Bulldogs. We'll also hear from Coach Joel Penner as it's senior day here for the Dordt Defenders, the last regular scheduled home contest for Dordt in football this season. And then we'll get to our kickoff at about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Dordt versus Concordia on the way. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back visiting with Coach Patrick Daberco right after this.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
How can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
Find a project that applies to your local context, that helps you as a teacher in your classroom, and do a deep dive on it. Like, we're always trying to be like, what does this have to do with the place in which you serve?
Let's check in now with Concordia football coach Patrick Daberco. The Concordia Bulldogs off to they're 6-2. It's hardly a start anymore. They're 6-2 this season. And Coach, great start to the season. Ran into a couple of hiccups. Midland, a crazy game, and then Morningside a couple of weeks ago. How do you assess where your team's at right now at this point of the season?
Well, I think we found out a lot, Saturday. Anytime you're going to play a team in the top 10, it really is a good barometer for where you're at as a program. We feel like we are making progress every year towards getting closer to where we want to be. We want to be, the mission of our program is to build up men to know Christ and compete for a GPAC championship. And it's a really good barometer when you play someone who's ranked number 6 in the country or whatever Dordt's rated now. So we're going to find out a lot. But, as the years have progressed, I feel like we're getting closer. We have all of our goals still ahead of us for this season. None of them are eliminated. We need some upsets now if we're going to split a conference championship. But if we handle our business and do what we need to do, which is our focus, then everything's still out there. But if you take your eye off the ball even for a second in this conference, you'll trip. And so we've experienced a couple losses. The double overtime loss was a tough one. We need to play better against Morningside. We were not very competitive in that game, but everywhere else, it's just it's been kind of a typical year in the GPAC. Anybody can beat anybody, but we're 6-2, like you said, and we're excited to be playing in a big game in November.
Tell me about your offense and your ability to score points. I see lots of points on the board, a few plus 50 games, a lot of plus 30 games. How is this team finding success offensively?
Well, I think it all starts up front. You know, we really make a big deal out of our offensive line. If you're going to have, you don't have a shot at being good if you're not good up front. And so every year, you know, that's a big point of emphasis for us. And so Derek Campbell, Cadence Veldy, Brevin Damro, Seth Moore, Jeremiah Vasquez, Thomas, Lane Bogarski, Josh Lure, Carter Meyer, guys like that have really paved the way for us to have success on offense. And then Coach Nelson, Coach Cook, our offensive staff, you know, Coach Hoffman, Coach Engel, all those guys do a great job getting our guys positioned to win and positioned to have success. Devin Ziegler, our running backs coach, he's had his hands full, kind of getting some guys ready that are playing more than we expected them to, just because of injuries and things like that. But man, we really have been able to do some things offensively, mostly because we're just we've got guys who work really hard and have positioned themselves to have success. And I realize right now when I say that out loud, it kind of sounds like coach speak, but we got a hardworking group of guys and some smart coaches who work really hard as well. And so that's been a lot of fun.
On defense, one of the stats that I've become to rely on is sacks given up and sacks gotten. 26 sacks for your defense, only 3 allowed by your offensive line. Is that a product of getting for your offense? Is that a product of getting the ball out quickly? Is it the offensive line? Is it a combination of all of those things? What is it?
Well, Gideon Stark, our quarterback, does a really good job at making decisions, and you know, we've had games where we've when we take care of the ball, we win, and so that's a big point of emphasis for us. Our quarterback, we try and keep him upright. I think last year we gave up 4 sacks on 347 attempts. We'll get the ball out quick, but we'll also you know, we have to have our quarterback stand and deliver in the pocket, and that pocket has to be clean. And so in order for that to happen, you really have to just be disciplined up front. And I think our coaches do a good job of preparing for that, and our players just do a good job of executing. We do a lot of our pass protection is, you know, we have to make sure that our technique is on point, and everything in football goes back to fundamentals anyways. And so we spend a lot of time on that, and we're proud of that. And I think it has led to the success we've had on offense.
What defensively do you hang your hat on? What's the calling card for this defensive group?
Yeah, our defensive staff, I do need to brag them up because, you know, Coach Olsen and I have worked together for 16 years, and he does a phenomenal job. Coach Long, Coach Jackson, Coach Shipley, Coach Nichols, Coach Kroom, all of those guys really pour a lot into it, and we've seen some good results, especially in the run game. Last year, we averaged giving up, I think, 111 yards rushing per game. This year, I think we're averaging giving up 94 yards rushing per game. It's something that we take pride in stopping the run. We have some things that we have to shore up in our pass defense that we've worked pretty hard to get better at, and I think we've seen improvement. You know, our secondary has some guys who are veterans and have made big plays in big games, and so it's exciting to see progress there. But I think if you look at our defense, I think you can look statistically. I think we're at we're confident in our ability to stop the run, and obviously that's going to get tested when you play Dordt.
Tell me about your preparations then for Dordt, and you allude to the fact trying to stop the run, and that'll be a challenge. What do you see from this Dordt team, I guess, first of all, offensively, that causes you some concern?
Well, I think when you every week you're going to have heartburn about different things, and so when you play Dordt, they play sound. They play sound football, but they also do just a lot of tricky little things that not everybody catches, and so we have to make sure that we play play to the whistle and we do the fundamental aspects of football well, that we defeat blocks, we shed blocks, and that we make tackles when they're there to be made, and that we defend the pass well. I think one thing that Dordt has done a really good job of is, they've gotten a lot more dangerous in their downfield passing attack, and so that I think that gives an element of it's an added element of preparation that it didn't used to exist with Dordt, but something that has definitely become more dangerous over the last few years.
What do you modify your game plan offensively based on the defense you're facing, or do you feel confident with your offensive that you're going to game plan as if you're playing it doesn't matter who the opponent is? I'm not sure if I'm asking that question well or not, but just your offensive game plan, do you modify that based on your opponent, or are you locked into this is what we are going to try to accomplish no matter the opponent?
Well, when we line up in Maryland I and run C-gap power and counter, it's going to be that we do that regardless. If you can tell Coach Penn and I said that would be great. A truthful answer would be, every week you're going to tweak some things. Every week you're going to modify a little bit. And you should have, if you did your job right in fall camp, you should have all the tools in the tool belt that you need to attack any kind of defensive structure that you get. And so I think to answer your question, like, there is some tweaks from week to week, but they shouldn't be new words and terminologies for your offensive players. They should be stuff that you maybe you used a little bit of this from week 3 and you really emphasize this in week 5, and now in week 9 you're gonna break out some stuff you might not have used in the last game that you used there earlier, and so it's leaning on your system. I think that if you get outside of your system, that's when you get into trouble, because you just don't have enough time to rep it. But we're confident in what we do and how we go about doing it, and so we're excited for obviously the challenge that is ahead of us, and yet we feel like we have what we need.
Complete this sentence, and this will be the last thing. Complete this sentence. It's a good day for Concordia if
we take care of the football and play well in the trenches. It's going to be a good day if that's what's happening, and I can't wait for the weather. I don't know if it's going to be. We know that there's going to be a sideways wind because we're in Sioux Center, Iowa, and every time we come, we have a wind in our face for all 4 quarters, and that seems to be how it goes.
Well, it does sound like the forecast we're going to be able to accommodate that. It does sound like
Awesome.
a nice warm breeze out of the northwest at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Hopefully a little bit of moisture, and we will have that waiting for you when you get here.
Can't wait.
All right. Coach Patrick Daberco, thanks for taking a little time to talk with me. Best wishes to you as the season concludes.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
We'll be back with more on our pregame show in 2 minutes.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa, life in the center of everything, where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors, knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
Hey Defender Nation, my name is Darren Kaiser and I'm excited to serve as the new athletic director at Dordt University. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network and supporting Defender Athletics. As an athletic department, we are committed to the Defender way. This means we are committed to the Great Commission, developing servant leaders, the academic development of our student athletes, and the pursuit of championships. I'm eager to join with you in supporting our athletes this year. Thank you for watching Defender Athletics on the Dordt Media Network. Go Defenders!
To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown, Defender. Cade Roar to the goal line. Touchdown, Defenders.
legacy.
We are dedicated to egg.
This is a Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast.
Pre-game show continues as the Dordt defenders prepare for the Concordia Bulldogs, and as we noted earlier in the season, it certainly seemed like the games were going to be progressively more challenging as the year goes along, and it's certainly playing out that way. And before we jump into Concordia, let's talk about Hastings last week and Coach Penner, a vastly improved Hastings team from a year or two ago. Their coaching staff was optimistic about where they were headed, and after Saturday, I would say that they have reason for optimism. 31-26 win for your team. A late turnover seals it. What are you thinking about on that 4.5, 5-hour road trip home from Hastings about the play of your team last Saturday as we open November play, Coach?
Yeah, I think grateful to come out of there with a win, knowing that it was really a play or two away from not being that way. I think that's on one hand, it's the sign of a team that's got a lot going in the right direction when you can win close games. You know, we did it the week before as well. On the other hand, it's not what we want to be doing. I tip my hat first to Hastings for just massive program development that they're doing. Some key transfers at some key spots, but a lot of program development, a coaching staff that's starting to develop some continuity and figuring out who they are and what they want to do. And, you know, they come out and they want to run the ball. They build a culture around that. It's one thing to have, scheme towards that. It's another to have a culture, and I think they've built their team around physical defense in the box and running the football well, and probably as good as any team we've played this year, to be honest, both sides in that area. And they just played great. And, like I said, thankful to come home with the win. We're breaking in a lot of guys. You know, we're at that point of the year when there's a lot of players that maybe at the start of the year you thought, well, they're a year or two away. Well, now they're playing a lot. And I think with that, there's a lot of learning and growing up to do. And it's good for us to experience that adversity. We definitely did, and now we just have to continue to improve from it.
Playing a Concordia team that, other than, I think, the overtime loss to Midland, that's the one that when they would like to have back, obviously. You don't get that opportunity. But a team from Concordia that is very good, and we didn't know what they were going to be. Large graduation turnover as well. What do you see from Concordia as you prepare for them?
Yeah, they're an explosive offense. They're third highest in scoring in the GPAC, behind Morningside and us. They have a quick passing game. They have a competent quarterback. They have good receivers. They have a good run game. They're able to have more balance than probably in some other years. They go very fast. They score quick. They have big play potential. And then on defense, I really like their personnel. I think they have a bunch of guys that can really do the job, and I think they're playing well. I mean, they're a confident group, and I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. I mean, if you think about a year ago, they felt like they should be in the playoffs. We felt like we should be in the playoffs. We're both kind of really, really close, and I think this game is going to have a lot of emotion and passion tied to it.
How do you attack this Concordia defense? It is, you talk about their personnel. They seem very solid. Do you see similarities between your program and theirs in terms of maybe not a lot of flash and big play offensively, and defensively very solid play, but maybe not dominance? Are we close? Is this a similar matchup, or am I seeing something that isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly valid comparisons there. I think at the end of the day, structurally, technically, they're going to play a one-high defense, which means you're usually playing with an 8-man front. Your priority is to stop the run. They're giving up 94 rush yards a game. Mm-hmm. One of the best run defenses in the conference. I think they're willing to beat us through the air. And most teams, that's what they do. That's how they approach it. For me, even when we go against a very competent run defense, it's not like it changes what we want to do. I mean, I think we still have our strengths. We just need to make sure that we attack the parts of the field that we believe are the most available. And that's kind of always our approach. I think we need to get into this game and figure out exactly, what's the flavor of the style this week and this season, because every year I feel like they have a slight adaptation to try to stop what they perceive needs to be stopped. And we just need to figure that out quickly and adjust. And I feel like we have a system to do that. Coach Youngling's just grown so much in his role. Our players are experienced, and I think we have the ability to make adjustments on the fly.
It's a good day for the Dordt Defender football team on Saturday if...
Yeah, I think offensively there needs to be time of possession domination. I think we want to keep their offense on the bench as much as possible, which will limit their scoring opportunities. I think they want to try to have as many possessions as they possibly can have. They're third in scoring and last in time of possession in the conference. We want to make them really feel like they're not playing much. But we also need to, like I said earlier, we need to have a balanced approach. I think defensively probably sounds a little repetitive, but they have to earn it. They have to earn every point. No cheap shots, one-on-ones down the field. We just have to keep everything on top, and then have some courage to break on their quick passing game as well. There's going to need to be something in the special teams. I mean, we're really calling for that to be a place where maybe this game gets swung is on special teams, and we've put a lot of emphasis on that this week.
Coach Joel Penner on our pregame show. We'll be back with more right after this 2-minute timeout.
Hey Defender Nation, did you know that Dordt Athletics has over 700 student athletes that make up less than 50% of the student body? We want to invite you to join the Defender Gold Club and support those student athletes, our staff, and coaches this season. Your charitable donation helps advance Defender Athletics and the Defender Way. Last year, we were just shy of 900 members in the Defender Gold Club. Help us reach that 1,000-member mark this year. By becoming a member, you will directly support the student athletes and coaches here at Dordt University. Thanks for watching. Go Defenders.
We have had him quite a bit, haven't we?
What's that?
Was he at Hastings?
We've had him 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Once again, what we are going to do, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We're in the middle of the national anthem, and we'll be back with our final setup on the Wireless World pregame show right after this 2-minute timeout.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University
and brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts.
Sign up for that.
Welcome back to Open Space Park as we get set for football. The Dordt Defenders and Concordia Bulldogs have both made their way onto the field and are having the coin toss as we set things up. And Kyle Achterhoff turned into winter overnight. Now, last week down in Hastings, sunny, nice and warm. Today was snow, but I don't know how much it's going to actually affect play because it appears that the snow has stopped, the surface is clear, and looks like an average November football game with a little bit of white around the edges.
Yeah, a little bit cool, but yeah, the players, this isn't going to affect the players at all, and not a lot of wind. Yeah, and as you look at the players that are on the field, a lot of sleeveless arms and a lot of skin showing. They're ready to play.
The Dordt Defenders and Concordia Bulldogs, the opening coin toss, and it's won by Concordia. They defer to the second half, as almost everyone does these days, and the Dordt Defenders will be receiving the kickoff. And 8-0 versus 6-2. Two teams that we pegged being really close to each other in the conference standings when the year began. And as it plays out, other than a hiccup with Midland, Concordia would be right in the thick of the conference race. They're still playing, and Coach Patrick Dabrico says the whole season's still in front of us with these two remaining games. They're entering with a must-win state of mind.
Yeah, absolutely. They can't afford another loss. They'll be on the outside looking in of the playoff race. But yeah, if they can get one today, and yeah, they always play. These two teams are pretty evenly matched, so it's going to be a fun day. But yeah, it's a really important game for both sides.
We may as well get it out of the way right away. And we've had several people asking. Noah Strickfaden left the game last week in the first half against Hastings. Fully anticipated, looked very optimistic that we would have him playing again this afternoon. He is the starting quarterback, but had a setback on Thursday. He will not be playing today. Colson Cruz will be the starting quarterback. I don't know that many teams have the luxury that Dordt does in having a quarterback who has actually won a playoff game as your number two quarterback. And we said at the beginning of the year, two quarterbacks is very important. It's proving out to be that fact.
Exactly, Mike. And yeah, it's a real luxury to have somebody that has the skills that Cruz has at the quarterback position. You've mentioned it. He's a winner. Won a lot of football games wearing the black and yellow. And you know, and talking to Coach Penner this week, he's been really excited about how Cruz practiced, so should be a good day for him.
Bowden Teal will let this one go through the end zone, and the Dordt Defenders will start first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line, as Concordia has taken the same approach that many teams have in recent history. They're not going to kick to Keenan Belverty on purpose, or they're going to pick their spots at least, and that one goes over the head of Bowden Teal, and Dordt is on the field in their all-black jerseys with yellow numbers and the yellow piping down the leggings. The Defenders will also be without Elliott Beal today. understand that there's possibilities of him playing yet before the year is over, but he's nursing along an injury that he suffered against Waldorf. Opening snap to Cruz. Cruz throws it out to Vendong. Vendong makes the catch, and the Dordt defenders with a 13-yard pickup on the play. First down and 10 at the 38-yard line, so the defenders start with a pass.
Yeah, and just exactly what Coach Penner had talked about. Their offense isn't going to change no matter who's at quarterback, and Colson's been throwing it really well this week, and he starts off with the completion.
Two receivers set to the right. The defenders with two running backs. They pitch it right side. To the corner is McCoy. McCoy tries to get to the edge, and he is stopped at the sticks. First down and 10 will turn into second down and 10 as the play gets stretched out to the sideline, and that's Jaden Sear making the tackle for the Bulldogs. At least I think that was number 6. Number 6, number 0. It might look pretty close. It was number 6, the safety. Jaden Sear coming up to make the tackle. Second down and 10 at the 38-yard line. Colson Cruz. Got McCoy in the backfield. I believe Tommy Fritz is with him as well. They're going to run option. This time Cruz keeps it himself, picks up maybe 1 yard on the play. It's going to be third down and 9, and I don't know that this is the day where you're going to be able to line up and just run against this Concordia defense.
Yeah, they're very stout versus the run. I believe they're giving up a little less than 100 yards a game.
94.
So, yeah, they're pretty tough there. They have given up some yards through the air, but it's been kind of their philosophy, and Coach Daberkow's kind of a defensive coach, and that's been the philosophy, is stop the run, force teams to throw the ball.
Third down and 9 on the way. Single setback for Colson Cruz. Send Rhett Williams from right to left. Dordt also has a tight end, Rhett Williams. They try to throw to Vendong and overshoot Vendong on the sideline. Would have been enough for a first down. Just a little bit too far to the outside, and that'll bring up a punting situation for the defenders with Ivan Orozco, and he'll come out, and the line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. Back to return for the Bulldogs. It was supposed to be Adam Van Cleve, but it appears that has changed as well. They've been dealing with their own share of injuries. That'll be Blake Mosenstein, who is going to be stationed back at the 20-yard line. So the Bulldogs will be receiving the punt from Orozco. And we might have double numbers there as well for the Bulldogs. We'll try to get that sorted out. So two number 15s. Orozco, line of scrimmage is the 39-yard line. Fourth down and 9. Dordt at their own 39, punting away. The wind, what wind there is, looks like it's out of the north. This one gets hung up in the wind, taken at the 28-yard line, and trying to get to the edge. And nice open field tackle that time by the defenders and special teams. Nathan Feldman on the coverage, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs inside their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, and Coach Penner talked about the importance of solid special teams play, and yeah, a game like this where both teams are so evenly matched, it could end up being a big special teams play that makes the difference in a ball game.
So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They're at their own 28-yard line, and we get our first look at the Bulldog offense. Gideon Stark runs the show for the Bulldogs, and Van Cleve is not in the backfield. It'll be Sassaman is in the backfield with him, 4.8 yards per carry. Van Cleve, kind of a do-it-all player, do-it-all threat, and I'm trying to see if he might be lining up at a receiver. He's done a little bit of everything this year, and after an injury to their starting running back, they moved him into the backfield, but I don't see number 2 out there at the moment. Waiting for the far side receiver to drop his arms and give me a look at his jersey. But it'll be Gideon Stark, the quarterback, 18 touchdowns, nearly 2,000 yards passing so far this season. And the Bulldogs, as the defenders as well, depleted by injury as this year has gone along. This is not the lineup they anticipated having. And now we have...
Yeah, I think I saw some discussion with the officials on the far sideline talking to Coach Daberkow. He was pretty animated and not very happy with whatever was being talked about. So now there's some question whether or not there was a penalty on that punt return. And the officials have kind of gone back and forth. They got the ball spotted, but now they're moving back. And another discussion.
13:03 remaining in the first quarter. I'm going to crack the window, a little cool air in, and maybe Randy Hagedorn will let us know what is decided. So the football is at the 28-yard line at the moment.
Fans are a little bit cold out there.
Everybody's a little antsy. And we've got a flag. And if nothing else, it'll be a delay of game penalty, I would think.
Well, now they're walking the other direction. Let's...
So a cut block against the kicking team, yeah. 15-yard penalty. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 43-yard line. So they get 15 free yards, and on a day like today, that can be a big deal. Gideon Stark waiting. They've stood around for a little while now. Let's see what Concordia has up their sleeve offensively. And they turn, hand it off Sassaman. Sassaman, the ball carrier, and Sassaman picks up 6 yards on the play. It's going to be second down and 4. Not quite penetrating Dordt territory at the 49-yard line.
And this is an offense that's very up-tempo. They're already ready to snap the ball.
Gideon Stark turns, gives it to Sassaman again. Sassaman this time wrapped up at the midfield stripe, and that's Buckholtz with the tackle. Nolan Buckholtz. A 2-yard pickup on the play. It's going to be third down and 2. With the Bulldogs now in Dordt territory at the 49-yard line. The defenders, a little bit of confusion on the defensive line as they shuffle around. Stark looks to the sideline now, 20 seconds on the play clock. Third down and 2. They need the 47-yard line for a first down. So Stark motions the man out of the backfield. That's Sassaman. Stark will keep it himself. Stark, second effort, and on the second effort he got it. I was looking back at 2 other players that ended up behind the line of scrimmage, but Stark's able to pick up enough yardage. He needed the 47. He got the 46, and a first down for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, initial contact had him short, but he did a good job of keeping his momentum going forward.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 46-yard line. Handed off to Sassaman. Sassaman, nothing there. It's going to be second down and 11, so a loss of 1 on the play. And I would say the same is true for Concordia if they're going to try to line up and run it in between the tackles and not have anything thrown to the outside. It could be a challenging day for their offense as well. Both these teams built to stop the run, averaging under 100 yards per game rushing. And now Stark pumps. He's going to throw over the top, and the pass is complete on the sideline. That's enough for a first down for the Bulldogs. Nicely thrown ball by Stark that time to Carter Skleba. And it's a first down inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and actually pretty good coverage. He just put that ball in the only place it could be caught.
So Johnny Pels now lines up on that side. They turn, hand it off to Sassaman. Sassaman, the ball carrier, and Sassaman maybe picks up 1 or 2 on the play. It's going to be second down and 8. So second and 8, football at the 25-yard line. Bulldogs have a good kicking game as well. Their place kicker, very good, so they're probably right in his range now, around 40 yards or so. Second down and 8. They need inside the 20 for a first down. Handed off to Sassaman. Sassaman breaks 1 tackle, but then corralled, and it's going to be important that Dordt corral that. They had several broken tackles last week against Hastings. This time it doesn't cost them more than a couple of yards. It's going to be third down and 7. Third down and 7. Concordia again up tempo, not wasting any time. Scoreless, 10-10 remaining in the first quarter. Motion a man out of the backfield. They pump right, they come back left. Dordt read it pretty well, and they stop him short of the first down marker as they came back to Max Bartles. And it's going to be fourth down, and I believe we're going to see the kicking team for the Bulldogs, and this will be about a 38-yard field goal attempt with the wind by Peyton Atwood.
Yeah, this is an offense that does go for it quite a bit on fourth down, but being in 4th and 4 and having a good kicking game where every point's going to be important, they're going for the field goal here.
They want to get points on the board, so Atwood lines it up. This will be a 47-yarder, and the snap is down, the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Hooked it left, And the Dordt defense gets off of the field, and we have seen that several times for the defenders. Once it gets inside the 30, it's about, well, can you get a turnover or can you force a field goal, limit the damage? And once again, they're able to do that here, and Dordt gets the football back at their own 21-yard line.
Yeah, really a good third down defensive play. Little jet screen out for Concordia, and good job by the defensive secondary to rally and get a lot of black shirts to the ball.
9:28 left to play in the first quarter, so Concordia fails on their first scoring attempt. Now Dordt's back on the field with Colson Cruz, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Cruz is going to scramble, has room to run, trying to dodge a tackler, and he does so, picks up 5 yards on the play. It's going to be second down. Second down and 3 with a gain of 7 by Cruz.
Yeah, just a smart play. It was kind of a 3-step, quick passing play, and receiver didn't have the separation, and Colson was able to just tuck it and get positive yards, put yourself in a nice second down situation.
Second down and 3, Dordt huddles up. 8:55 left to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless. Second possession of the day for the defenders. Picked up 1 first down so far. Cruz fakes the handoff, now pitches right side, gets it over to Fritz, and the play gets stretched out to the sideline, and making the tackle is Jacob Rowland. It's going to be third down. Third down and 3 for the defenders at their own 28-yard line. Coming in from the sideline for Dordt will be Ethan Snyder, and he'll replace Rhett Williams. Isaac Looker will come over to the near side as well. So second down and 3. We are scoreless. Option game so far for the defenders, not paying dividends. Second down and 3. Fake the handoff, looking to throw, and the pass over the middle for Looker. Looker is hit, and we're going to have a penalty against the Concordia Bulldogs as well, as that was Will Potratz.
Did he say he caught it?
Well, he might have caught. He came down with it, and then the ball was dislodged.
I wonder if he kept his hands underneath it even after the ball kind of popped loose. He might have still.
Well, let's see what. I don't think he did, but maybe we got a replay here. Looks like we will. Tyler Vandermolen back in the truck. Johnny on the spot. No, it hit the ground. The ball bounced off of the turf after the contact, but if we could get one more look at that, Tyler, if we can, simply because I want to see what the defensive player did if he led with his helmet there and made contact.
Yeah, and the official seemed to be
very emphatic. Yep. Yeah, that one's not going to be any doubt about it. That's going to be a 15-yarder minimum, and that's also the kind you might look at in terms of the disqualification call. So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, and there will be the targeting call, and I believe that results in the ejection for the safety. And now we have a timeout on the field.
They're going to review the targeting.
Okay, they're going to take a look at, so that's the immediate review. So one more time, Tyler, I know we're giving you a workout back there, but this will give us a look at which player actually got called for the targeting. By the way, women's basketball leading John Brown 74-41. So that throw over the middle, and that is going to be number 3 for Concordia, Jacob Rowland. Rowland, the targeting call, and now the result could be ejection. If it's upheld, they'll take a look over in the replay booth. The tent over underneath, over in the south end zone, and we'll see how long it takes for them to take a look at that. While they do that, any thoughts, Kyle?
Well, yeah, I think we've mentioned it before. The luxury of the Dordt Media Network and having a great shot, and Tyler getting us the replay a few times there. We got a much better angle and a much better look at the replay than I think what they'll get out of the end zone camera.
They do have the one at midfield, which is basically going to be right above. It's going to be a very similar angle to what we saw initially, and it did not take them long for Randy Hagedorn and his partner to take a look at things. So here he comes, and he'll let us know.
After review, there is no targeting on the
Well, the defensive player did come in with the shoulder, but I thought where he made contact, he went up high.
Yep.
And yeah, it's kind of one of that's one call I'm not a fan of, just because it's so subjective. It looked pretty obvious to me, but
well, in real time, I thought no doubt, and then we started looking at it, and I would agree that it looked like the shoulder. So it's going to be fourth down. Should be fourth down.
And the offense is on the field.
We got because that was a 3rd down and 3 call.
The down marker was saying in second on that last play, so I want.
Colson Cruz ran for 7. Tommy Fritz, no gain. Colson Cruz, incomplete pass.
Yeah, it should be fourth down.
We better get this straight.
Because I don't know if Coach Penner, the offensive staff.
Not the kind of start you want to this one. Big game, and you want it to run smoothly, if nothing else. You don't want the starts and stops.
And that hasn't been the case so far here.
It's clearly fourth down. I mean, there's no question. How can it not be fourth down?
Yeah, and I know that's what Coach Daberkow is saying right now from the far sideline. The down marker didn't change. So I think that's where there was some confusion, but I mean, they should be able to pull up the stats and they should know what we're in here. We might get an extra down.
Going to get a free down.
And now I think Coach Daberkow is going to throw the challenge flag. He's challenging the down and distance, he's right.
He's right. There's no doubt. Well, we're going to get a 3rd down and 3 and a handoff up the middle, and Dordt's going to convert on fourth down in effect.
Yeah.
Good luck scoring that one in the stat room, guys. Keenan Belverty with a 7-yard pickup on what was 4th down and 3. I'm glad he got the first down.
Yeah, and for Coach Daberkow, he's going.
Yeah,
that's a 4th down conversion, but yeah, if we have the right down and distance on the field,
so important.
Dordt's punting the ball.
1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 36-yard line. Colson Cruz hands it off McCoy. McCoy trying to get to the outside, tracked down, and still on his feet, breaks a tackle, and he's past the 40 to the 43-yard line. It'll be 2nd down, and medium for the defenders, standing 2nd down and 4. So the defenders, Keenan Belverty got that 9-yard run to give Dordt a 1st down on what should have been 4th down. Now I see Tommy Fritz over on the sideline getting worked over, so let's see if that develops. Colson Cruz, so we've got Keenan Belverty in place of Thomas Fritz. 2nd down and 3. Colson Cruz gets the snap, hands it off Belverty. Belverty trying to get to the edge, and he's wrapped up. No gain on the play for Belverty. It's going to be 3rd down. So 3rd down and 3. Football at the 44-yard line. And actually 3rd down and 2. Dordt needs the 46 for a 1st down. So 3rd down and 2 on the way, a start and stop kind of game so far. 6:20 left to play here in the first quarter. We are scoreless, and the defenders 3rd down and 2 at their own 44-yard line. Send a man in motion, that is Looker. Looker comes all the way to the near side, fake the handoff. This is Cruz. Cruz steps up in the pocket, floats it over the top, passes complete. This is Snyder. Snyder on the carry after the catch, and they floated it up to the big fella, and Ethan Snyder inside the 25 down to the 24-yard line before he's dragged down.
Yeah, I was a little afraid that was going to hang in the air just a little bit too long. We're throwing into the wind. Not that it's a strong wind, but it's that type that can kind of hold the ball in the air for a second. And but it was able to get there, and big play for the defenders.
1st down and 10 for the defenders at the 24-yard line. Colson Cruz Has McCoy and Velvery in the backfield with him. Rhett Williams in motion. Back to pass. They fake the pitch. Throw to the corner. This is Williams. Runs under it at the 5-yard line, and it's first down for the defenders at the 5. And the Concordia defensive back, Grant Hoos. I'm not sure what he was questioning there, if he wanted the help from his safety, but he was almost questioning whether it was in bounds or not.
Yeah, it was obviously he was in bounds. I believe even.
Yeah, he had a clean pass. Yep, he stepped in. So first down and goal to go for the defenders at the 5-yard line. Everybody's a little owly today, Kyle.
Yeah, it's the cold, wet weather, and
I'll admit, when I got here this morning, I wasn't in the grandest of moods. First down and goal to go. Handoff to McCoy. McCoy inside the 5. It's going to be second down and goal to go from the 5 as he's pushed back to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I think Cruz wanted to be able to pull that ball there, and whether Preston clamped on a little bit too tight, you don't want to be fighting over it. Better to maintain possession than to put that thing on the ground, but Cruz had a lane to the end zone if he was able to pull that ball.
Second down and goal to go for the defenders. McCoy is behind Cruz. Fake the handoff. This is Cruz. Cruz racing to the corner. Cruz into the end zone. Touchdown defenders, and the Dordt defenders are on the board first. With 4:11 left to play in the first quarter, Dordt takes a 6-0 lead pending the point after on the quarterback keeper by Colson Cruz. Cruz, a 5-yard touchdown run capping the drive.
It looked very much like the same play that they ran the other direction, where it ended up being a give to McCoy, and this time Cruz pulled it. It was kind of a run-pass option. He definitely had a lane and was able to beat the defense to the edge and get in the end zone.
Stephen Leinen on to attempt the point after. Leinen, 40 of 41 this season. Snap is down. Kick is up. Might have hooked it. It's good. 41 for 42. Dordt leads 7-0. A 79-yard touchdown drive, and the defenders lead 7-0. We'll be back with more right after this. This is Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online, 712realty.com, leading you home. This broadcast brought to you by the Ullman Funeral Homes. Chad Ullman, Lori Ewell, and Taylor Van Witchell providing professional attention to every detail.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa. Life in the center of everything. Where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors. Knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
A 10-play, 79-yard drive, and the Dordt defenders cap it with a Colson Cruz keeper. And I mentioned it, Kyle, everybody's just a little edgy. That happens in November where there's things on the line.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line here. The reality is, there's a lot for Dordt to play for today. But this is the season for Concordia. If they lose this ball game today, their chances for the playoffs is gone. So they're a little on edge. They're wanting to get this one, so they're going to play with a lot of intensity.
Return to the 10 to the 20, and now the 27-yard line, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 27-yard line. And on the return for Concordia, I believe that was Kelvin Sassaman. Sassaman, it's either him or Jacob Rowland. And Sassaman will go into the offensive huddle now, so he's the running back as well for the Bulldogs. Thanks, Jake Knobel with the Concordia Sports Information. He got me the double numbers, and it's always good to have the information ahead of time, but it's still a challenge to keep track of it all in real time. This is Gideon Stark. Stark fakes the handoff. Stark pass batted, and it's taken away by the defenders. Coming up with it, the Dordt defenders, and I believe that is the linebacker, Josh Henderson. Henderson with a return inside the 20, down to the 15-yard line. Did you see who got a hand on it, Kyle?
Let's get it on the replay. Query.
Yep, Zach. Zach Queering, and what a year he has had, the defensive end, and Johnson got it, and he rambles inside the 20 before he is taken down.
Well, and Coach Penner and the defense, I know they've been talking all week about how quickly that ball comes out. And the chances of actually getting pressure and getting sacks today, probably not real high. But if you're not going to get there to make the sack, you get the hands up. And, yeah, what happened there will happen. Ball tipped. Big play by the defense.
So Johnson comes away with the interception created by the batted ball by Zach Queering, and now the defenders on the field with 3:58 left to go in the first quarter, leading 7-0, and we've got Daniel Dickerson in the ball game. So Dickerson returns to action after missing significant time with turf toe. Handoff to Valverde. Valverde, 2-yard pickup on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 8, and that hole was there, and it closed up very quickly.
It did, yeah. This Concordia defense, they'll get their safeties involved in the run game, and so they'll close things down. But I really think we're going to have more success on inside plays. They do a great job, and we've seen it so far. They've done a great job of stretching things out wide on the option play because they get guys that can run to the ball pretty well.
Jake Van Dong to the near side. Lining up in the slot will be Rhett Williams. Dickerson and Valverde in the backfield. Cruz hands it off. Valverde, no, kept it himself, did Cruz. Cruz pointing, and he's going to run out of room and throws it out of bounds. And it'll be 3rd down and 8 for the defenders. And he was trying to point and get his man going downfield and was unable to find him. Just unable to shake, and if you can't get away from your man one-on-one, and that time Cole Snyder couldn't, there's really not much you can do as a quarterback.
Yeah, and Cruz did as much as he could to try to extend that play, but didn't have a lane to run, and instead of taking a 4 or 5 yard loss, he was able to get the ball out. To take the incomplete pass.
3rd down and 8, football at the 17-yard line. Back to pass is Cruz. Cruz going to throw, and it's underthrown, and coming back to it is Snyder. Snyder makes the catch, came back to the underthrown ball, and the Dordt offensive lineman, Garrett Divis, a little slow, picking himself up off of the turf, but a 1st down pass for the defenders.
Yeah, and just a nice job of coming back to the ball, making sure he could secure the catch.
1st down and goal to go at the 5. 2:40 left to play in the first quarter. Cruz has Dickerson behind him. Let's see if Daniel Dickerson gets a carry here inside the tackles. They hand it off to Dickerson. Dickerson into the end zone. Touchdown, defenders. I've been waiting for him to come back. He's nursed it along. 2 games now from the end of the season. Daniel Dickerson makes his return, and a touchdown rewarded for the senior running back.
Yeah, and I know they've been kind of holding him, making sure he was good and healthy before he come back because, we're hoping that this isn't the second to last ball game of the season, right? So we got to think long term, and especially when you have the kind of depth that we do at running back, there was no reason to maybe push him and try to get on the field too early. So great job by the training staff to get him 100% healthy.
Snap is down, kick is up, and that one is straight down the chute. And the Dordt defenders grab a 14-0 lead with 2:29 left to play in the first quarter. 14-0, Dordt capitalizes on a turnover. A 19-yard drive. We'll be back with a kickoff right after this 1-minute timeout.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts. Discover more than just inventory, service, and financing for Ford models. Mao Motor Company is committed to exceptional customer service. Mao Motor on Highway 75 North in Sioux Center. Online, maomotor.com. Today's broadcast brought to you by Hague Health Center, proudly serving your local community for nearly 60 years with a commitment to healing body, mind, and spirit.
At American Investment and Trust, we know financial planning is a never-ending journey, and we have the right team to take you every step of the way. We understand that a solid financial framework can only be built when risks are considered. Planning for tomorrow means starting today, and once you've built a legacy, we help make sure your vision carries on to the next generation. For a comprehensive financial plan, the team at American Investment and Trust is here for you. American Investment and Trust, managing change.
The Dordt defenders have a 14-0 lead with 2:29 left to play in the first quarter. End-over-end kick. Those will be taken by Sassaman at the 10-yard line to the 15 to the 20. Cuts it back and right at the DU cross logo down at the 25-yard line. That is where Concordia will begin. First down and 10 with Dordt leading 14-0. So a gift, a turnover turns into a score, and in games like this, those are huge plays.
Well, and when you get a turnover and you have that momentum, you want to be able to take advantage of it. And big third down reception to get inside the red zone, inside near the goal line, and to finish the drive in the end zone. That was really big play.
Gideon Stark, the quarterback now. The Concordia Bulldogs playing from behind. The handoff goes to Sassaman. Sassaman, the ball carrier, and Sassaman, nothing there. And if they are without their leading running back, and he was a load, Carlos Colazzo, and when he went down with an injury, he was averaging 5.8 yards per game, had 591 yards through 4 games before he went out with injury. Now they're playing without Adam Van Cleve as well, so this is not the Concordia offense that they plan to have at this stage of the year either.
Right.
Back to pass, and they're going to take a shot over the top, and it's incomplete. And we've got a flag on the play, and we're going to either have a hold or a pass interference.
Yeah, if the ball's in the air, it's going to be a pass interference, but that's what they're a little bit worried about. I know Coach Pennard wants our defensive backs to be aggressive on the 3-step drop, but on the double move, and Concordia will do this, they'll take some shots downfield. You can't be too handsy in those situations.
That was Johnny Pels who got free over the top, and the defenders end up committing a pass interference penalty. It's a 15-yard penalty. It'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Dordt 42-yard line.
Yeah, and
I beg your pardon, at the Concordia 42.
And I know some defenders are not real pleased with that call, some of the fans, but yeah, it was a good call.
He got a hold of him. He didn't let him go. Yep.
Yeah, and Pels was behind the secondary. If we hadn't had the grab, that could have been a really big play for the Bulldogs.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 42-yard line, so they get a fresh set of downs to work with. They pass quick out and breaking the tackle, and up the sideline is Pels. Got away from Trevion Dawson. Dawson went for the interception, then couldn't quite close the deal on the tackle. Stepped out of bounds at the Dordt 46, and the Concordia Bulldog offense in business once again at the Dordt 46-yard line. Stark fakes the handoff. He's going to take a look over the middle, and the pass is complete and bobbled, and forcing the incomplete pass, the hit by Dawson on Pels. He's given away a little bit of size to Johnny Pels, and it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, and these Bulldog receivers, especially Pels, is just he's a big target, physical player, so nice job of targeting the ball.
Second down now and 10 yards to go for Gideon Stark. Stark sends a man in motion, that's Bartles. They hand it off to Sassaman. Sassaman breaks an arm tackle, picks up 5 yards on the play. It's going to be second down and 5 before Isaac Kakmarinsky comes up to make the stop. It's going to be third down and 5 for the Bulldogs. And I'm guessing that they're thinking 4 downs here.
I would agree, Mike. Yeah, we've mentioned it. This is a team that goes for it quite often, and especially down 2 scores at this field position.
1:09 left to go in the first quarter. Back to pass, and the pass is nearly picked off, and McCullough missed on it, and the pass is complete up the sideline and first down, and the defenders very nearly pick it off, but Maddock Rickardson comes away with the complete pass. He rambles up the sideline and picks up more than enough for a first down to the 15.
Yeah, really good concentration to make that catch, because looked like the ball was going to be going the other direction.
McCullough very nearly came away with the interception. Now the second effort by Sassaman. Sassaman picks up 3 on the play. It's going to be second down and 7. That might be the last play of the quarter. Under 30 to go. Concordia up to the line of scrimmage quickly. They've got time. With the wind here, second down and 8. So a gain of 2 on the play. They'll take their time. Sending Rickardson in motion. They hand it off to Sassaman. Sassaman, not much there. He's stuffed at the 10. It's going to be third down. And that will be the last play of the first quarter. Dordt leads at 14-0. Concordia, though, in Dordt territory at the 10-yard line when we resume play in the second quarter. This is Dordt football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in a minute. To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown defender. He'd roar to the goal line. Touchdown defenders.
Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Nutrition. Transform your health and wellness with 712 Nutrition. Stop in today for healthy, delicious protein shakes bundled with a supportive community. Start feeling your best today.
Find furniture, mattresses, flooring, paint, and window treatments at your local Furniture Mart. They are family-owned and located in downtown Sioux Center. German Farmers Mutual, protecting the farm and home since 1891. Northwest Iowa's local insurance partner. Online at germanfarmers.com.
It will be Concordia football when we resume play. It'll be 3rd down and 5 at the 10-yard line. Dordt leading 14-0, but Concordia threatening. And you mentioned it, Kyle. When you have the opportunities to make plays in games like this, you have to capitalize. And the Concordia Bulldogs took advantage of Dordt trying to jump the route. Got a big play to set this up.
Exactly. And now, Dordt solid on the first two plays of this series of downs here. The 3rd and medium. We're probably looking at 4-down territory, though.
Stark hands it off. Sassaman, kept it himself, and Stark is going to waltz into the end zone. Touchdown, Concordia on a 10-yard touchdown run by Gideon Stark. He doesn't run much, but he picks up the 10 yards for the touchdown, and we're back to a one-score difference at 14-6.
Yeah, really blocked well up front by the Concordia offensive line.
Peyton Atwood on to attempt the point after. He is 36 of 37 on point after tries this year. Trying to make it a 7-point game. Concordia an 8-play, 74-yard drive. Trying to culminate it here with a point after Stark's 10-yard touchdown run. Snap is down. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Concordia Bulldogs cut the lead down to 14-7. We have the kickoff coming up. You're watching Dordt football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute.
NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek.
And today's live stream broadcast brought to you by Verhoof Automotive. Verhoof Automotive in Sioux Center is your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Chevrolet, and Buick dealer. Verhoof Automotive, worth the drive from anywhere.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Eric Rankin, a proud sponsor of Dordt University Defender Athletics. For all your investment needs, call 712-722-0618 or visit edwardjones.com. Edward Jones, SPIC. Members Cut, more than meat, where strong values, great food, and hometown spirit comes together. Stop in and taste the difference community makes. Located just south of Scooters on Highway 75.
This is a Dordt Media Network student-produced live stream broadcast.
Concordia kicking off, an end-over-end kick taken by Valverde at the 13-yard line. He's out to the 20. Gets away 25-30, runs into a blocker, and he is brought down at about the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the defenders at the 35 with the wind at their back. 14:46 left to play here in the first half, and they'll mark him at the 33-yard line.
Yeah, good starting field position for the defender offense, so hopefully we can take advantage and convert some first downs here.
Dordt leading 14-7. Williams and Looker to the near side. 2 running backs, McCoy and Valverde. Colson Cruz is the quarterback, and he pitches it right side. Dickerson has a man open. That's Looker. Looker breaks a tackle, and he is brought down at the 40-yard line of Concordia on the design pass play by Daniel Dickerson on the pitch, and it didn't look like Dickerson had any thoughts of running that football. He was looking over the top for Isaac Looker, trying to catch the Concordia defensive backs coming up on run support.
Yeah, and people look at that and think, oh, trick play, halfback pass, all that, but really it is a part of this offense, and Dordt's running it enough where teams have to be conscious of it, and good to take advantage there, but that's a good threat.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the Concordia 41-yard line. Handoff to Dickerson. Dickerson into the open field, 30, 25, and dragged down. And if not for a little skip at about the 32-yard line, he's racing into the end zone. So Daniel Dickerson, an immediate impact for the defenders as he got just tripped up, stumbled forward right at the Sioux Center logo on the 24-yard line. Colson Cruz hands it off. This is Dickerson again. Dickerson up the middle. Dickerson picking up 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 7. What has changed that has allowed Dordt to get a little bit in between the tackles here?
Well, it's success throwing the ball downfield. Okay. Whether it's that halfback pass and a couple of Cruz's completions downfield, it gives that safety just a little bit of a hesitation before they can fill on the inside run game. And as you notice, like those last 2 solid run plays were really both inside the tackle.
3 down linemen for the Bulldogs. Cruz has Dickerson behind him, fakes the handoff, throws it to Looker. Looker breaks a tackle, 10-5, and spun out of bounds at the 5-yard line, and that's more than enough for a first down as the defenders are now inside the 10, and it'll be first down and goal to go at the 5, a 16-yard pass completion.
And that right there is what we just talked about. That's what's given those defensive players for the Bulldogs just that little bit of hesitation. They can't sell out completely for the run because Dordt's just being efficient in the pass game.
First down and goal to go at the 5. Velverty and Dickerson in the backfield. Cruz motioning to the left, hands it off to Dickerson. Dickerson plows his way into the end zone. Touchdown defenders. That's the 2nd touchdown of the day for Daniel Dickerson. And the defenders take a 20-7 lead, 12:30 left to go in the first half.
Yeah, great job up front by the offensive line. And Colin Friesen in there, the redshirt freshman. Boy, he's
hard to miss.
He's a load out there, but he had his defensive lineman 3 or 4 yards deep into the end zone. Just a great job, and yeah, Dickerson was able just to follow that right into the end zone.
Stephen Leinen on to attempt the point after try. He'll kick it out of the hole to Connor Stephens. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. And the Dordt defenders lead it 21-7. 21-7 our score. Dordt up by a couple of scores. Concordia receiving when we're back right after this. This is Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network.
Each year, more students find their place at Dordt University. Through top-ranked academics and athletics, Dordt continues to flourish and grow. But what defines Dordt goes far beyond national recognition. It's an unwavering commitment to prepare graduates to serve in a changing world. But that mission doesn't end at graduation. It continues through the work and leadership of our graduates until all is made new.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Cruz & Cruz, PC, certified public accountants. Offices in Sioux Center and Lars, helping you attain your financial goals is their commitment. Today's broadcast brought to you by Joyner and Zwart Dentistry, providing implants, dentures, and dental care for your whole family in a modern and friendly atmosphere. Today's broadcast brought to you by Skibout Window and Door, your local window experts. Whether you're building or replacing, Skibout Window and Door has the products, people, and knowledge to get the job done right. See Skibout and see the difference.
It's 21-7, 12:30 left to play in the first half, so the defenders strike quickly. And now Concordia will take a touchback, and it'll be Concordia football first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. That was a 5-play, 67-yard drive capped by Daniel Dickerson, 5-yard touchdown run. So Dordt leads at 21-7. Listen to someone say, you know what makes a good quarterback? They don't try to take what isn't there. And if you're going to give me that 7 to 10 yard pass, that out, I'm going to take that every time.
Yeah, and that's with the fun thing about this Dordt offense is that run-pass option, and that can be a real threat as long as your quarterback is able to make those completions.
Stark is the quarterback, hands it off, and Sassman takes a hit at the end of that run. It's a pickup of 3, and I don't know that he is built to run the football 20 to 25 times a game, but he is certainly on pace for that here this afternoon. Picks up 2 yards on the play. It's going to be second down. Second down and 7, back to passes. Stark pumps. Stark up the sideline, and he went out of bounds as well. So the cap comes off by the official. You see him throw that, and once that happens, he cannot be the first player to touch the ball when he comes back inbounds, and that was Concordia's Max Bartles. Big play coming here for the defenders. Third down and 7. Get off of the field on defense. Sassman is in the backfield. Stark will try to go quickly. Dordt's defense in transition. They'll get set. Stark now has 10 seconds remaining. Concordia does have timeouts left if they want to use one. Facing third down and 7. Big play here. Motion a man out of the backfield. Back to passes Stark. Stark looks over the middle. Pass is complete, and that's a first down to the 49-yard line, and finally brought down is Bartles at the 50, and that right over the middle, wide open for Bartles as he found a seam.
Yeah, and that's one where your linebackers have to be conscious of where that crosser is coming from and try to jump that a little bit better.
First down and 10. They hand it off to Bartles. Bartles picks up 7 on the play. It's going to be second down and 3. So far for for Sassman, that is his 11th carry so far for 25 yards. It'll be second down and 4, so a gain of 6 officially. 3 receivers to the right. Gideon Stark, the quarterback, turns, hands, gives to Sassman. Sassman picks up a first down, and now the running game starting to work for Concordia. That comes after some pass completions.
Exactly, and Sassman does a good job of being patient behind that big offensive line and waiting for the opening to come.
11:10 remaining, first half that is, and we have a flag, we have a whistle, and a timeout. Timeout on the field, charged to Concordia. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute.
Dordt's program is a little bit unique in that it's entirely online, but one of the unique pieces is that for every learning module in every single class, we have a synchronous class. Students get a chance to know each other, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. That opportunity is really valued by the students that are in the program. I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching those classes and getting to know those students, but also being able to bring in different people's experiences.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Ployne Publishing, quality printing from design to delivery.
The Greenhouse, located in Hall, Iowa, bringing you amazing coffee, energy drinks, breakfast, lunch, and so much more. A big city feel, only 10 minutes away from Sioux Center, with a second location opening soon in Sanborn.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City. Whether you're looking for repairs, replacement, or maintenance for your air conditioning or heating system, Huber's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Orange City will exceed your expectation. Concordia used that timeout, and they saw something on the offense. The offensive coordinator saw something he did not like and called for the timeout. So Gideon Stark sends a man in motion. Back to passes Stark. Stark looks left, come back right, and the pass is complete and down to the 5-yard line. And right over the middle again, and that pass completed to Johnny Pels. Pels, a big target, 22 catches coming into the game, 17.6 yards per catch, and he's done nothing to hurt that average here this afternoon, and Concordia now has it first down and goal to go at the 5. They hand it off to Sassman. Sassman inside the 5, down to the 3. It's going to be second down and goal to go. And I might be a little bit generous on my spot. It's going to be at the 5-yard line. So second down and goal to go at the 5. 10:27 left to play in the first half.
Got to be aware, quarterback run here, empty set.
Empty backfield. This is Stark. Stark keeps it himself. Stark trying to use his size, muscles his way into the end zone. Stops short of the goal line, though. It's going to be third down and 3. Third down and 3.
Well, he's a load back there,
Yeah.
6'6", 225, 230 pounds. So.
Now Concordia's gone with a different offensive line, and are they going to line their quarterback up under center? They've also got a new running back in, Tyler Douglas.
we going to see a tush push here?
So under center will be Stark. Stark fakes the handoff. He's going to look to the outside, and it's in and out of the hands of Tyler Douglas. Douglas was open, hit him in the hands. That's going to set up 4th down and goal to go.
Yeah, well-designed play really for the Bulldogs. They were able to leak the back out, and he was open for the score. Just a little bit too much zip on the ball. Wasn't able to bring it in.
This surprised you a little bit? Looks like they're going to go for it. 4th down and 3.
I think with it being 2 scores, although they've been known to do this.
Okay.
Right? They like to go for it on 4th down. Not that they've been overly successful at it, but Coach Penner's going to take a timeout, reload the defense.
Timeout on the field. So the Dordt defenders, it appears, will use their first timeout. They've got 2 remaining. 9:40 left to go in the first half. Concordia setting up for 4th down and goal to go from the 3 when we resume play in 30 seconds. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30.
Hey Defender Nation, did you know that Dordt Athletics has over 700 student athletes that make up less than 50% of the student body? We want to invite you to join the Defender Gold Club and support those student athletes, our staff, and coaches this season. Your charitable donation helps advance Defender Athletics and the Defender Way. Last year, we were just shy of 900 members in the Defender Gold Club. Help us reach that 1,000-member mark this year. By becoming a member, you will directly support the student athletes and coaches here at Dordt University. Thanks for watching. Go Defenders.
We resume play with the Concordia Bulldogs facing 4th down and goal to go at the 3. Gideon Stark is the quarterback, 4th down and 3. Look for the jet sweep, throws it, the jump pass over the middle, and it's complete. And getting free, everybody was occupied at the line of scrimmage, and it is Maddox Rickardson getting free for the short touchdown pass, the jump pass, and Gideon Stark, you mentioned, 6'6". He goes up. There was nobody that was going to knock that ball away.
Exactly. Yeah, he can see over top of all defensive line, so able to get that ball over top to his open receiver.
Peyton Atwood on to attempt the point after try. His team trailing 21-13 pending the try. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through the uprights. And the Concordia Bulldogs back to within 7 at 21-14. Kickoff on the way. We're midway through, not quite midway through the second period. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute.
NewTek is your partner for success when purchasing equipment for construction, manufacturing, agriculture, and other industries. Don't miss the opportunity to transform your business and redefine your productivity standards with NewTek. Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973.
Concordia answers the Dordt score with a score of their own to cut it down to 21-14, a 10-play, 75-yard drive taken by Valverde at the 5. He's to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, and met at the 23-yard line and driven backwards. It'll be 1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 23, leading 21-14 with 9:30 left to play in the half. So Concordia answering Dordt. And Concordian offense that's averaging 38 points per game. Defense that surrenders nearly 30 points per contest. They are accustomed to these high-scoring affairs. Many games over 50 points scored. And Daniel Dickerson in the backfield along with Colson Cruz. Cruz fakes the handoff, dodges pressure, gets away from another would-be tackler, tosses it to Daniel Dickerson, and Dickerson picks up 10 yards on the play. First down, just how you diagrammed it, Coach.
Wow, that's just a phenomenal play by Cruz. Not only making the first guy and then the second guy miss, but then to have the wherewithal to keep his eyes downfield and running to his left and being able to flip that out for the completion. That's a big play for the defenders.
21-14 defenders at their own 34-yard line. Cruz fakes the handoff, back to pass, and he's going to air it out looking for Looker, and Looker stumbles and falls. There will be no flag on that. No. Looker stumbled before there was any contact. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, and the ball was slightly overthrown, so it's a little bit of that incidental contact plus not probably a catchable ball anyhow.
Second down and 10 as the defenders took a shot over the top intended for Looker. Earlier today, the women's basketball team victorious over John Brown, 93-65 in Orange City, and we'll fill you in on the Great Plains Athletic Conference Cross Country Championship after our next play. Second down and 10. Cruz hands it off to Velverty. No, kept it himself. Got it over to Dickerson. Dickerson picks up 5 yards on the play, down to the 40. Make it a 6-yard pickup. It's going to be third down and 4. Women's cross-country team won handily. They win another conference championship. The men dethroned. They end up in second place. Both individual title winners from Dordt, Truman Johnson on the men's side and Corinne Braun on the women's side. So congratulations to Nate Wolf and the defenders. And I would say the likelihood is high that the men will be qualifying for the NAI National Championship as well. The women get an automatic berth. Back to pass is Cruz. Cruz pass is tipped and knocked away by Concordia's Will Potratz. Breaks it up. It's going to be fourth down, and the defenders will be forced to punt from their own 40-yard line. Jake Van Dong unable to get free, get a little bit of room, and ends up fourth down and 4 now, and the defenders will be kicking, giving the ball back to a Concordia offense that has been able to move the football down the field with relative ease the last couple of times. Orozco, line of scrimmage is the 40. He's kicking with the wind, and he is averaging right at 38 yards per punt. This one up into the wind, and it'll be taken inside the 10. And breaking a tackle, and then it's falls loose, and it looks like it's still loose. And it's anybody's guess who's going to be on top of that. Very nearly disastrous for Concordia, but the Bulldogs are going to get it back on top of it. And the Dordt defense will come onto the field. Very nearly the second turnover of the day, but as it is, Concordia maintains possession with 7:51 left to go in the first half. How do you see that so quickly?
Trained eye, I guess. I don't know. It came out fairly late, but it was definitely a fumble, and then, kind of got kicked around there.
Squirted around a little bit as well. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 8-yard line. Dordt needs a defensive stop here. Gideon Stark motions. Rickardson. Pass over the top, and we've got trouble. Pass is incomplete.
Yeah, we're fortunate that was underthrown, and again, they're going. It's not a stiff wind, but again, just enough to hold that up. Who was that on?
Walder was on coverage.
Yeah,
it was intended for Pels again.
It's that double move, and I know Coach Penner wanted the defensive backs to be quick triggers on the short passing game because that's what Concordia is kind of known for, but they've had some success with the double move.
Handoff to Sassman. Sassman picks up 4 on the play, so that's a very manageable third down and 6, it appears. So it's going to be third down and 5.
Different running back in the game?
Was that number 19 again?
It was.
So it's Tyler Douglas. Douglas who came in on the goal line. So Douglas picks up 5. It's going to be second down and 5, and this is, third down and 5, and this is where Concordia has been dangerous. Stark motions a man, Bartles. And back to pass. They pass complete, and it's going to be close to a first down. Did they give him forward progress? Looks like he's short.
I think with the field position, you're going to see Concordia's punt team. They love to go for it on fourth down, but there's just too much.
4th and 1 at your own inside your own 20.
Good stop by the
Barry
defense.
Switzer might do it, but
yeah,
I don't think Patrick Daberco is cut quite from the same cloth.
No, he's still got a little bit of that defensive mentality in his brain, so he's not going to set up his defense in bad field position.
Braxton Cook is kicking and gets this one up into the wind. Fair catch called for by Valverde at the 47-yard line and makes the fair catch call as that one got up into the wind. And it'll be first down and 10. Good field position for the defenders. So both teams get defensive stops after it looked like we were going to be in a basketball game.
Yeah, and really good series by the Dordt overall football team, right? You get a good punt, pin Concordia deep, defense holds, get a 3 and out, force the punt, and now the offense is starting with great field position.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the Concordia 47. Concordia on defense. McCoy breaks a tackle. He's to the 40, to the 35-30. Still on his feet. McCoy inside the 30 down to the 27-yard line. And that's a Dordt first down. Good piece of second effort by McCoy. Didn't go down easily. Initial contact was about a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, and then he broke a couple of tackles before finally being corralled by the defensive back, Jaden Sear. It's going to be first down and 10 at the Concordia 27.
Yeah, and the luxury of having fresh legs in the backfield at that running back position.
First down and 10 for the defenders. And Tommy Fritz back into the game. Fritz stood up at about the 20-yard line, picked up 7 on the play. It's going to be second down and 3. Takes a little bit of punishment at the end of that one, but good to see Fritz back into the game after they were checking him over earlier in the contest. Second down and 3. Good first down play by the defenders. Dordt offensively, running game has had some success, and we did not necessarily anticipate that here this afternoon against a Concordia team that's very good against the run.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a matter of challenging those guys up front, and they're responding so far. Oh, that was close.
So Preston McCoy caught in the backfield. No gain on the play. That's Dalen Henson. So it's going to set up third down and 3. Dordt needs the 17 for a first down. They've got it at the Concordia 20.
Yeah, and if McCoy could have slipped his foot out of that tackle, he might have ended up in the end zone. He had a nice opening off the left side, but that backside pursuit was able to get a hold of the feet.
Dordt with 67 yards on the ground so far with 4:40 left to play in the first half. Colson Cruz has McCoy behind him. He's going to run option, pitches it to Valverde. Valverde trying to make one-man miss, gets to the edge and steps out of bounds close to the first down marker. And I think he got it, Kyle.
Yes, he did. Yep.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the 15. Lowered his shoulder and delivered a little bit of punishment at the end of that run as well, did Valverde.
Well, and I love seeing that. You don't typically see that from a guy his size, but he runs with a lot of intensity, and he finished that run well.
Jacob Rowland came up and got a little bit more than he bargained for. First down and 10 for the defenders now at the 15-yard line. First down and 10 for the defenders. 4 minutes remaining in the half. Handoff, Valverde. Valverde has a gap, spins, and he's brought down at about the 12-yard line. So a pickup of 3 on the play. It's going to be second down. Second down and 7. A little bit of snow still coming down here in Sioux Center, but it is not accumulating on the field. Temperatures have warmed just a bit as well. 3:35 and counting, first half. Dordt leads 21-14 and threatening in the Concordia red zone.
Yeah, and you'd expect the Dordt offense to take their time here. You want to make sure you're in a solid play and feel good about it. But you also want to keep that Concordia offense on the sideline.
Second down and 7. Handoff to McCoy. McCoy stutter steps, gets away from a tackler to the 10 to the 5, race to the pylon. Touchdown defenders. The Dordt defenders regain the 2-score lead at 27-14 with 3:09 left to play here in the first half. So Preston McCoy with the touchdown run for McCoy. That is his sixth carry. He's got 38 yards and his first touchdown of the day. Dort's 4 scores have all been on rushes.
Yeah, and that one right there, Mike, was the success that we've had running the ball inside. Is really drawing that Concordia defense in tight, and McCoy did a great job of bouncing it out to the left and getting into the end zone.
Snap is down for Linen. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And the Dordt defenders take a 28-14 lead. 28-14, the defenders back up by 2 scores. Critical here to close out the first half of the defensive series. That's going to be coming up with 3:09 left to play in the half. We will be back with our kickoff. This is Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in 30 seconds.
How can I join Defender Forever? It's easy. Go to dordt.edu/forever and sign up. You'll not only stay connected with the Dordt community, but also support the future of Defender Nation. Start Forever now. Once you sign up, you will receive exclusive perks, brand new gear, event access, and the latest Dordt news. Be part of something special. Be part of Defender Forever.
The Dordt defenders with the 28-14 lead. And the Dordt defenders capping the drive and trying to tweak our audio just a little bit. The Preston McCoy, the 12-yard touchdown run, capping a 6-play, 47-yard drive set up by the relatively short punt. Here is, it's fumbled at the 10-yard line, picked up at the 7, and nothing doing that time. And the defenders come away. Good coverage. Nathan Feldman on the coverage, and the defenders will send the defense onto the field. Concordia takes over first down and 10 at their own 10.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you see that ball on the ground on a special teams play like that, a lot of times you see the coverage team kind of hesitate for a second, and it ends up being a bigger drive, a big play for the return team. But great job of getting downfield and making the play back in this Concordia offense up at the 10-yard line.
Stark has it. And Stark turns, fakes the handoff, and they pitch it over on that screen pass. And a short gain on the play, pickup of 4, and it's going to be second down. Second down and 6. Good coverage that time by the defenders, and so important just to make the tackle on that play. And they got 4, give them 4, come back, second down and 6.
Yeah, this offense plays so fast here. You got to be ready to go on the next play.
Stark. Now we've got a little break and look to the sideline. 2.5 left to go in the half. Pretty important defensive series here for the defenders. Would love to go into the halftime up a couple of scores. Handoff, and this is Sassman. Sassman picks up a couple on the play. It's going to be third down. Third down and 3. Wouldn't be surprised here to see Concordia take a shot after setting up with those runs inside the tackle, and they might take the 2-minute warning to talk about it. Stark up to the line of scrimmage, and they won't get a playoff. That's going to be it. 2 minutes. We've got a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll be back with more in a minute.
Hey, Defender Nation. My name is Darren Kaiser, and I'm excited to serve as the new athletic director at Dordt University. Thank you for tuning in to the Dordt Media Network and supporting Defender Athletics. As an athletic department, we are committed to the Defender way. This means we are committed to the Great Commission, developing servant leaders, the academic development of our student athletes, and the pursuit of championships. I'm eager to join with you in supporting our athletes this year. Thank you for watching Defender Athletics on the Dordt Media Network. Go Defenders!
139 and counting. Back to pass is Stark. Stark's going to take a shot over the top, and the pass is caught at the 45-yard line. Stumbling is Dane O'Mell, and O'Mell makes the catch at the 45, but Concordia moving the football down the field. 90 seconds remaining in this quarter. Dordt trying to get a defensive stop to close the half. Concordia trying to get a touchdown and then get the ball back. Coach Kyle and Coach Penner will be talking at halftime if all goes according to plan with Kyle Achterhoff. Kyle's going to make his way down to the sideline and brave the elements. So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs with 1:24 remaining here in the first half. Now we have a stoppage in play, and I'm not sure what the discussion is about. So the clock will get set to 1:30. First down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 45-yard line. Trying to put together a scoring threat here at the end of the first half. They hand it off. This is Sassman. Sassman, nothing there. And Sassman at the 45-yard line. So back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 1:15 left to play in the half. Concordia has 2 timeouts remaining. Second down and long. Back to pass is Stark. Stark, a pump, throws to the sideline, and the pass is incomplete. And the wide receiver went out of bounds, stepped out of bounds, and they threw the hat down so he could not catch the ball. Coach Patrick Daberco angry on the sideline, questioning something very vociferously. Can make that out all the way across the sideline. He is not happy. 59 seconds left to go in the half. Concordia trailing 28-14. It's third down and 9 for the Bulldogs. Stark's going to send a man in motion. That's Bartles. Back to pass is Stark. Stark steps up in the pocket. Pass over the middle. Incomplete. It's fourth down. Now for Concordia, decision time. You're facing fourth down and 9. That's a risky move if you go for it here, and they're going to send the punt team onto the field with 54 seconds remaining in the half. So the Dordt defense gets a stop. Watch for the fake here, though. Braxton Cook at his own 46-yard line. Keenan Valverde stationed at his own 25. Dordt has the wind at their back here at the end of the half, and they've got 2 timeouts left. So Braxton Cook, averaging 36 yards per punt, gets this one away and angled to the sideline, and we have a stoppage in play. And it appears Concordia wants a timeout. Concordia calls a timeout with 54 seconds remaining in the half. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in a minute.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping, and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at outdoorelementsinc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@outdoorelementsinc.com.
And the defenders, Keenan Valverde, will call for the fair catch at his own 24-yard line, and now it's Dordt's turn to make a decision on how aggressively they will play this out with 50 seconds remaining and 2 timeouts. 28-14 our score. Concordia trailing. So barring something completely unforeseen, the defenders will take a 2-score lead into the halftime. After the punt, Keenan Valverde called for a fair catch. And with 50 seconds remaining, will Dordt keep the foot on the gas here with 2 timeouts remaining, or will they be content to get to the locker room leading by 2 scores, 28-14? They hand it off. No, this is Cruz. Cruz. Cruz pitches over to Valverde. Valverde behind the line of scrimmage. Gets a block, now gets to the edge. He's to the 35, to the 40, and 42-yard line before he is brought down. So Valverde all the way from the far sideline picks up over 20 yards, and with 37 seconds remaining, the defenders with it at their own 42. Now, on a cold day, a relatively wet day as well, I'm thinking the defenders would have to get to the 30 to give Lynan a real chance here. They are with the wind, and now we have a stoppage in play. We have a Concordia player who is shaken up, as the defenders looked like they had a wall of blockers for Valverde, and Valverde picked up over 20 yards on the carry on that option play that they ran to the left, and the player shaken up for Concordia is number 3, Jacob Rowland. And Rowland, that limp arm, so often the sign of a shoulder issue. So it'll be first down and 10 for the defenders at their own 42-yard line. Earlier today, women's basketball, the Dordt Defender women came away with a win over John Brown, 92-65. We'll recap that if we get a chance at halftime. Got a lot lined up at halftime. We'll be keeping things here for the halftime interview with Coach Joel Penner. We will also make sure that we get the cheer and dance team. That on video. 37 seconds remaining in the half. Cruz back to pass. Colson looking to the sideline, and the pass is complete to Looker. Looker into Concordia territory. An 8-yard pickup on the play. It's going to be second down and 2, but we have a flag on the play, far sideline at the 45-yard line. This one likely is going against the defenders. Ineligible man downfield potentially. Play took a little while to develop. Dordt leading 28-14, 31 seconds remaining. So they call an ineligible man downfield, and I think they got the wrong number because 87 would be eligible, but it'll be first down and 15 for the defenders, so that negates the 7-yard pickup. Defenders would love to give Stephen Lynan a chance to close the half. So first and 15, Dordt needs the Concordia 48 for a first down. Cruz fakes the handoff, has some room to run, fakes the pass. Now he's going to run for it. He's to the midfield stripe and steps out of bounds. So Cruz picks up 13 yards on the play. Joel Akers shaken up on the play. And Joel will get back to his feet, and now that might be Joel Akers might need a timeout. 24 seconds remaining in the half. Joel tried to get up and walked and then went back down to his knees. So an injury timeout. It'll be second down and 1 when we resume play. So second down and 1, football at the 49-yard line. Is 24 seconds remaining. And up off of the sideline for the defenders, this is Evan Beck. Beck will likely slide over and go to the center position. And they're trying to get some practice snaps in as Joel Akers is helped off of the field. Joel's been dealing with a foot issue for much of the year, and I'm not sure if that's what transpired here. But unfortunately for the senior, shaken up on the play. So he leaves the game. It's second down and 1 for the defenders at the 49. 24 seconds remaining. Dordt still has both timeouts left. Colson Cruz has Preston McCoy in the backfield with him. So 2nd down and 1. So 24 seconds remaining. And it'll start on the snap. Colson Cruz is your quarterback for the defenders. McCoy in the backfield with him. Snap is clean. He's going to air it out to the sideline. McCoy to Looker, and it's incomplete. It'll be 3rd down and 1. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. There's 19 seconds left to go in the half. So Dordt leading 28-14, trying to get to halftime here. Earlier today, GPAC cross-country championships. The Defender women won handily. The men finished 2nd. 3rd down and 1 for the Defenders. McCoy gets the handoff, and McCoy close to the 1st down. Looks like he's going to be just shy. It's going to be close. And it's going to be 4th down. And with 11 seconds remaining, waiting for the signal from the official. Dordt has 2 timeouts left. It's 28-14, Defenders leading. So we never got the signal that it was a 1st down. The clock continued to roll because there was no 1st down signal. It is 1st down and 10. They still haven't moved the chains. We have a timeout on the field. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 1 minute. To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown, Defender. Cade Roar to the goal line. Touchdown, Defenders.
Dordt is a place where students flourish.
What stands out about Dordt's mission is how they prepare us as students to face a world that is in need of the Word of God.
We are seeking to embody discipleship. What does it mean to faithfully follow Jesus?
The Defenders have 1 timeout remaining. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Colson Cruz back to pass, under pressure, flush from the pocket. He's going to throw to the sideline, and it is caught. Complete pass to Isaac Looker, another Dordt 1st down with 9 seconds remaining. The Defenders with it down to the 35-yard line, so this would be a 52-yard field goal attempt on a cold day. Right around 35 degrees or so. That would take everything Stephen Leinen might have today. 9 seconds to get a little bit closer and 1 timeout remaining. Colson Cruz gets a snap, back to pass, flush from the pocket, looking, and he's going to run out of bounds. Inside the 35, down to the 32, so every yard important, and now the Defenders will send Stephen Leinen on to try to close the half with a field goal. This will be a 50-yarder with a slight breeze behind him on a cold and dreary day here in Sioux Center, trying to make it a 3-score difference. Concordia has a timeout left, and they're going to talk about it. So we have a timeout on the field, charged to Concordia. This timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Back with more in 30 seconds. To Piper. Piper up the middle. Piper still on his feet. Touchdown, Defender. thrower to the goal line. Touchdown, Defenders. Stephen Leinen on to attempt the field goal to close the half, and you got to be cognizant here of a block as well. This will be a 50-yarder. Connor Stephens with his knee down at the 40. Leinen lines it up near hash mark. Snap is down. Kick is up. Kick is on the way, and he pushed it right. So the Concordia Bulldogs survive the field goal attempt. It looked like it had the distance, but he pushed it right. And the Concordia Bulldogs will receive the kickoff to start the second half, trailing 28-14. We'll keep it right here on the Dordt Media Network. We're going to turn it back to KIHK for a 3-minute break. So go ahead and take a 3-minute break on KIHK, and we'll have the halftime interview with Coach Joel Penner and Kyle Achterhoff on the Dordt Media Network. 3-minute break, KIHK.
At the half here with head coach Joel Penner of the Dordt Defenders. Coach, solid half offensively, especially. What do you need to do to keep moving the ball and putting the ball in the end zone?
I like where we're at. You know, it's going to need to continue to be a balanced approach. We've been able to take advantage of some big pass plays, but we've also run the ball really well, so we just need to keep that up.
Yeah, I thought you had great balance there in the first half. Defensive side of the ball, they've driven the ball, they've maintained some drives, given up some long pass plays. But at the end of the half, getting good stops. What do you need to do defensively to finish this thing out?
Yeah, you know, our opponent scores a lot of points. They're really good at it. It's key that we keep them in front of us. We're playing from the lead, which is an advantage. We can't give up any cheap touchdowns. If they score, they have to work for it.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck in the second half. And we're at the half with the Dordt Media Network. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. All right. Good job.
Welcome back. We are at halftime. The Dordt Defenders leading the Concordia Bulldogs right now 28-14. The Defenders getting a defensive stop and then had a long field goal try that would have extended the lead to 3 scores, but Stephen Leinen's try from 50 yards on a cold and dreary day pushed a little bit to the right, and the Defenders take a 2-score lead into the locker room, and Concordia will have the football to start the second half, and that'll be a very important sequence. And it's going to be a lot of possessions in this one by the time it's all said and done, and doesn't feel like any lead will be safe. taking a look at the, very quickly, we'll take a look at the scoring recap, and then we'll take another break, and then we'll get to our halftime interview. The Defenders open the scoring with a Colson Cruz 5-yard touchdown run, capping a 10-play, 79-yard drive. And then Daniel Dickerson from 5 yards out capped a 4-play, 19-yard drive set up by an interception by the Dordt defense. Concordia's answers came swiftly on their next 2 possessions. Gideon Stark had an 8-play, 74-yard drive that he engineered, and he took it into the end zone for a 10-yard touchdown run. That was sandwiched around a Daniel Dickerson 5-yard touchdown run. Stark had a completion to Rickardson to cap a 10-play, 75-yard drive to make it 21-14. Preston McCoy scored with 3:16 left to go in the first half to make it 28-14. The Dordt defense got a stop, and then gave Stephen Leinen a chance from 50 yards that he missed at the horn. The individual numbers for Dordt so far: Colson Cruz 7 of 13 passing, 115 yards. Preston McCoy 7 carries for 39 yards. Keenan Velverty 6 carries, 38 yards. Daniel Dickerson 5 carries, 36. Colson Cruz 5 carries, 31 yards. Isaac Looker has 3 catches for 54 yards. Ethan Snyder 1 catch for 32 yards. For Concordia, Sassman 16 carries for 44 yards. Gideon Stark 11 of 18 passing, 153 yards. 3 completions to Pels and 3 catches for Omel from 31 yards as well. Defensively, Dordt is led in tackles by Isaac Kakmarinsky with 8. Cole Johnson is 7. Roland and Sire have 5 tackles each, and the only interception so far by either team was by Henderson for the Defenders. Thomas Walder credited with 2 pass breakups. 28-14, Dordt leads by 2. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back talking with our halftime interview. Caleb Weinberg, our senior spotlight, defensive lineman for the Defenders from Neenah, Wisconsin. We'll check in with him in 2 minutes.
Hello, Dordt University sports fans. Hope you're enjoying the game, whether you're a family or friend of a team member or a fan of the university. These players and coaches have put in hours and hours of practice, and it shows. There's one more thing that every coach makes sure the team has for each game, and that's a game plan. And no matter the outcome of the game, there's tremendous value in growth in working together as a team to execute that game plan. What about you? Do you have a game plan for your financial life? Or are you so busy with everything else that life throws your way? Now, November is Long-Term Care Awareness Month. Did you know that roughly 70% of people over the age of 65 will need some long-term care services? And for those that enter a facility, the average stay is 3.2 years. There are 4 planning options for long-term care, and only one of them involves actually buying insurance. With the annual cost of care close to or over 6 figures, do you have a game plan for handling those costs or hedging that risk? For over 40 years, the planning firm here in Sioux Center has been helping households build and execute their financial game plans on all the things more important than money. I'm Tom DeYoung, president of the planning firm. Check us out on the web or social media, or schedule a complimentary Discover meeting to see how a financial game plan might benefit you. We'll help you build your financial game plan on all the things in your life more important than finances, while being a good steward of the resources God has entrusted to your care. And check out our Money Concepts Radio podcast at moneyconceptsradio.com or on your favorite podcast app, where we dive into relevant financial planning topics to bring clarity to the often confusing, ever-changing rules of the game in the financial world. Enjoy the rest of the game, and remember to spend your most valuable resources, your time and your attention, on the things in life that matter more than money. And go Defenders!
Ethan, what a luxury. What do you, 2 pizzas on Saturday night after a football game? What do you do?
I mean, I don't really like track how much I eat, but, you know, you definitely got to work to eat as much as you can to keep the weight on.
Is it good? You try to feed the good fuel?
Yes.
Not soft serve ice cream and stuff like that?
Try not to eat soft serve ice cream, but, I mean, you got to treat yourself every here and there, you know?
So tell me about it. 4 years.
Yes.
What's home for you? What do you call home?
Neenah, Wisconsin is where I call home.
How do you end up connected with Dordt?
Oh man. So originally I was looking at schools close to home, just because I love my family and I wanted to be close. And it's kind of crazy. My mom sent me a couple links to like a Google form or something through Dordt's website, and there's 3 different schools, and they were small Christian colleges, all kind of close, and it was just like, asking me if I was interested in playing football here, and then like just a little bit about me, and I just sent those applications in, and then Dordt reached out like within the next day or two, and kind of just got the ball rolling with my recruitment. And
what do you remember about that recruitment? After the initial contacts were made, what do you remember about that time?
It just seemed like Dordt was super invested in who I was as a person, not just a football player. And Coach McCormick, our defensive coordinator, was my recruiting coach, and he was awesome. Like, that was just such a great experience. I mean, I kind of just touched on it, but it just felt like way more personal than other like recruiting with other schools and stuff.
Sure. What was high school? What high school did you go to?
I went to Neenah High School.
What size of that?
It's about 2,000 to 2,300.
So a little bit of a culture shock coming here.
Yes.
I mean, because our college undergrad is less than that. Was it an adjustment?
It was an adjustment, but it wasn't a super hard adjustment, I would say. I actually liked it a little bit more. Because, well, I guess it's hard to say, but I did like it just because, like, less people you get to know, your guys or whatever, like less people to, get to know, and that was nice.
What was football like when you came as a freshman?
A freshman.
What do you remember about that first fall camp, if anything?
It was a lot harder than high school football, for sure. There was definitely a culture shock there. My high school, I was in a public high school, and it was kind of like a win at all cost type of thing.
Okay.
And then you come to Dordt, and you got, all the seniors who don't even know you, and they're so ready to pour into you. And that was super big, I think, for my development, not only as a football player, but just as a man in general. Just having a bunch of guys who are super willing to pour into you and just love you, and they don't even know you. And that was really awesome. So that's really what stood out to me.
After many years, it becomes a blur for me and who overlapped with who. Do you remember who some of those older guys were at the time?
Yes. Sam Andrews, Jessup Leakey, Drew Dom. I remember my freshman year, like, especially Colton Vanderberg. He was a really big influence to me.
So what are you studying here at Dordt?
Business management with a minor in theology.
Okay, that's when you mentioned that earlier, and I said that's a unique combination.
Yes.
Tell me about how you arrived at that combination.
Yeah, so I initially came into Dordt as a theology major with a youth ministry
emphasis.
Emphasis.
Yep.
And I didn't really know what I wanted to do with that. I just knew I was super passionate about learning more about obviously the Word and learning more about the Lord, and that's where my heart was at the time. And then during my recruitment, or like a couple years before, my parents started a small business doing custom cabinetry back where I was home. So that started to grow pretty exponentially, like we were talking about. And then I really just wanted to get involved with that, so I switched my major halfway through my freshman year to business management. But I wanted to keep my theology minor because I was interested in the youth ministries, and I don't know whether or not I wanted that to be like a full-time thing for me, but I really wanted to volunteer with some programs at home that I was involved in. So
why do you feel a passion for that? Did you have a previous experience with that was positive? How did you arrive there?
Yeah, during high school I was really involved with a program called Young Life, and I just had some really great role models through that time of my life. I wouldn't say high school was very easy for me. There were a lot of challenges, and I just had like guys in my life, like men in my life who, were willing to just like go and get food with me and, talk about the Lord and talk about life. And I kind of just want to give back to younger people like those men in my life did for me.
If you had to describe the Dordt football program in 30 seconds,
30 seconds.
Your elevator speech for Dordt football. How would you describe the Dordt football program?
Oh, man. I feel like there's a lot to say about Dordt football.
You've got 30 seconds.
I do have 30 seconds.
You can get a lot said in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Dordt football is, and this is like, Coach Penner preaches this, but Dordt football is the industry standard football team at our level. But that's not only in football itself, but that's in like us being men. We have 4 pillars that I think are extremely valuable to this program. Build Men, Kingdom Impact. Man, I'm blanking on it right now.
But those...
Yes, I'm sorry, but
yeah,
those 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how does that all work together? Because see, you talk about a win at all costs, maybe something that you didn't really thrive with. And now here you sit 8-0.
Yeah.
Heading into the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yes.
How does that all work together? Have you figured that out?
I just think we've built a culture here where we love football, we love the Lord, and we love each other, and that's really kind of what's driving us to be so successful right now. And we can stay faithful to each other and stay faithful to the Lord, and the Lord works in miraculous ways, and He's allowed us to be 8-0 at this point. So.
You mentioned that it does take its toll. Defensive linemen, you get banged around a little bit.
Yes.
And those offensive linemen are falling on your legs and all that kind of stuff.
Yes, they are.
What? How do you feel at this point of the year, 2 months in?
I don't feel like I did when I reported for fall camp. That's for sure. Body sore, but I mean that's just kind of a part of the game. Something you just got to push through. So, yeah.
Are you graduating in May? Is that the plan?
Yes, I will.
And move back to Neenah, Wisconsin?
Yes, sir.
What's going to be your role? You talked about jumping into the family business,
Right.
the custom cabinetry. What will be your role? Are you going to be a little bit of everything? Learn the business? What are you going to do?
I will learn the business because I just don't know.
You haven't been around for 3 or 4 years.
Haven't been around. I've done some stuff over the summers, just coming in and doing all kind of like the scrap work where I'll, like break down the wood and help installs and stuff. But I'm probably going to be taking more of a role in the front office portion. My mom does pretty much all that right now, and they've kind of told me that they needed help with that. So there's no job description yet, but I will be doing a little bit of everything.
Sure. When you think about 4 years ago, coming to Dordt, maybe not knowing exactly what you were all in for, and I don't know that anybody truly does when they go off to college.
Yeah.
What changes have you seen in yourself in the last 4 years?
Oh, that's a tough question.
Well, I do ask a few.
Yes.
And it's probably one of my favorite questions to ask, in all honesty, because by the time you turn 22 or 23, you start looking a little introspectively and say, okay, what was I like, and now where am I at? And I'm just always curious what changes you might see in yourself, and maybe here's a better way of getting to it. Who are some people that have impacted you in the last 4 years?
Okay. Well, I think I've changed really just like as a man in general. And when I guess being asked about who's helped, that Coach McCormick has really helped me become more of a man. Coach Kenny, Joe Kenny, Jessup Leakey, these 3 have coached me, and Jessup played with me, and they've had really big impacts on my life. Just showing it what it means to, die to myself. I'd say as a freshman, I was coming in, and I had a consumer mindset. Like what can I get out of Dordt football, but like what can I get out of life? And like those 3 in particular really have just taught me, what can I give? And I think that's probably the biggest change that I've seen.
Now I've got to ask this, because Brandon's up in the booth, and I usually I can. On away games, there's sometimes a window separating, and I can observe him. But then I look down on the sideline, you guys come to the sideline, and I think Joe Kenny is oftentimes more excited than you guys are if you come up with a defensive stop. You get that stop, and you get off the field. What's that feeling like as a unit to know that you've done what you were supposed to do and stop the opponent's offense?
I can't really explain the feeling, but I mean, you just enjoy doing your job, and when your whole defense does their job, it's like, you bring your lunch pail to work, and job's done. You know what I mean? And Coach Kenny is like, he loves us very much. Coach Kenny will be our biggest hype man, and that's awesome. But usually when we get our stop, we're thinking, what could we have done? Could we have done better on the drive? And we celebrate success, but we also want to be the best that we can be.
Well, I'm hoping for a few more weeks, Caleb.
Yes, me too.
A few more weeks,
Yep.
and we'll see how the next couple play out, and that'll impact if there are a few more weeks or not. As you graduate and leave, best wishes to you. I know in the spring it becomes you guys aren't around anymore, and you don't have to do spring football, so I don't see you in the rec center nearly as much. So when graduation comes, best wishes, and I'm sure you'll do great things with your family. And I still find it very interesting, business administration and theology mix, and I think there are some good things in store for you. So thanks for taking a few minutes to talk with me.
Thank you very much.
That's Caleb Weinberg on our Senior Spotlight. We'll be back with more right after this.
Today's Dordt Media Network live stream broadcast is produced by the students of Dordt University.
And brought to you by Pizza Ranch, buffet, carry out, or delivery. Today's broadcast is sponsored by Northside Body Shop. When you expect the very best in the repair of your vehicle, call Northside Body Shop Limited today, serving the Sioux Center area since 1955. 712-722-2313.
When you add up all the Wi-Fi connected devices in your home these days, you'll be surprised at how many there are and how much bandwidth they're using. Do the math. It just may add up to needing faster Wi-Fi. Premier Communications has you covered with reliable internet speeds up to 1 gig. Keep everything connected with Premier Communications. Visit us online at mypremieronline.com or call at 1-800-741-8351. Premier Communications. Looking ahead.
Some scores there, and but he knows this is a Concordia team that has the ability to score a lot of points in a hurry. So it's going to be really important for our defense to get it off to a good start here and just play solid in the second half and not give up big plays. If Concordia is going to score, they have to be long, sustained drives, and it's not something that they're used to doing. So we really need to make them earn it.
Stephen Leinen kicking off, and we are underway with the second half, and the Bulldogs, Sassaman will take it at the 2-yard line. He's out to the 5 to the 10, has a seam to the 15, and he is brought down at the 23-yard line, and the Dordt defenders will send the defense onto the field. Got a stop at the end of the first half to set up a long field goal try. You were down there. Did it have the distance? It looked like it was close.
It would have been close. It would have been close if he'd have got it. Yeah, it would have been, right there had it been online.
Pushed it right, and we end up with a 28-14 game at halftime. A game that seems like it has taken a little while to play out, and fair number of passing plays. They hand it off. This is Sassaman.
Ball's out.
Down, and the football is down on the ground, and the defenders say they have it, and if they came away with a strip and a fumble here, the Dordt defenders, a huge swing in momentum. And who came off of the bottom with it? It appears that is Cole Johnson. Johnson with a nose for the football and somehow got on top of it. And the Dordt defenders, first down and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like Colson Queering was the one who was right there stripping the ball out.
And Cole Johnson, a fumble recovery. He had the interception last week at the end of the game against Hastings to seal it. And some people called it a fumble. Some called it an interception. It was just the receiver bobbled it, and Cole in the right place at the right time took it out of the air and sealed the win for the defenders. Dordt with a 28-14 lead and the football after the early turnover. Cruz hands it off McCoy. McCoy stood up but picks up 5 yards on the play. It is 2nd down and 5, and here's where if you're the Dordt offense, you smell blood in the water right now.
Absolutely. You want to get points on this after that turnover. You want to get points, but, yeah, you also want to keep the offense on the field. And I know that's what Coach Penner's thinking is, yeah, even though we want to run our offense and do things really well, yeah, we got to keep the offense on the field, win the field, the time of possession big time, and keep that Concordia offense on the sideline.
2nd down and 5. Valverde in motion. They hand it off to McCoy. McCoy in between the tackles, and McCoy looks like it's going to set up a 3rd down and short situation. And right now the defenders really start trying to establish things in between the tackles after running in the first half for nearly 100 yards. Did not see that coming, in all honesty. Dordt being able to have as much success on the ground as they have had, and actually they're at 151 yards on the ground. 4 ball carriers, more than 30 yards carried. 3rd down and short. 3rd and 2, Colson Cruz. You've got McCoy behind him. Big play here for the Concordia defense. Fake the handoff. Cruz pass to Looker. Touchdown defenders. Isaac
Great
Looker.
ball.
With the catch, Colson Cruz laid it out there for him, and the Dordt defenders have taken a 34-14 lead with 13:27 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Great catch by Looker, but a great pass by Cruz to put it where he could latch onto it.
Yeah, it was, you got that small window between the corner and that safety coming over and support. Cruz put that thing right on the money. That was his best ball of the day so far.
Great time to have it. Dordt capitalizes on their 2nd short field of the day. They lead 34-14, pending a point after try here by Stephen Leinen. Leinen, his 5th point after, and the snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Dordt defenders lead it 35-14. Turn of events here as the defenders get a turnover, capitalize with a score. Dordt now up 3 scores against this high-powered Concordia offense. Let's take a 1-minute break. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Kickoff right after this.
Hi, this is Alex with Outdoor Elements. We've been the region's premier landscape company for over 15 years. With our own in-house landscape designer, we create extraordinary outdoor spaces where you will make memories with family and friends. We do all types of landscaping, and we're the region's only certified pool professionals. We specialize in saltwater pools, which are easy to maintain and gentle on your skin. Check out our website at OutdoorElementsInc.com. We make your landscape as beautiful as your home. When you want the best, contact us at 712-476-5299 or email us at info@OutdoorElementsInc.com.
Well, the Dordt defense comes up with a turnover. The Dordt offense responds with a touchdown, and not so often, but you'll see the defense force a turnover, and when the offense comes up empty, it can almost have a deflating effect. Dordt's capitalized twice on turnovers today.
Yeah, that's been huge, Mike. 14 points off a turnover so far. Just a great job of the offense responding after the defense makes a big play.
35-14, defenders leading by 21. Concordia taking their 2nd kickoff of the day, and this one they'll let go through the end zone. And Kelvin Sassaman that time on and none of it, and he lets it go through the end zone. 1st down and 10 for the Bulldogs at their own 25-yard line. For the defenders so far today, Colson Cruz, 7 of 13 passing, 115 yards. Isaac Looker has 3 catches for 54 yards, including a touchdown, and I don't think that refreshed. So we will get the updated stats in just a little bit. Concordia, Gideon Stark is your quarterback. Stark back to pass, and the pass over the middle is broken up, incomplete. And breaking it up for the defenders was Devin Endel, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So an open, if he leads them a little bit further, things maybe turn out a little bit differently, but the defenders knock it away with Endel, and it's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, I think you'll see the defensive backs given a little bit more respect off the double moves.
And they take a shot over the top, incomplete, intended for Rickardson, and that's going to bring up 3rd down. Now this Concordia team, they are not going to change what they do as they are continuing to take shots down the field. They've abandoned the running game for all intents and purposes on this set of downs. And now the Dordt defense will try to get the football back. Stark, a critical third down try here. So 3rd down and 10, motion a man out of the backfield. Back to pass is Stark. Stark, pass is incomplete. It's going to be 4th down, and once the element of having to honor the run goes away, there are a lot more bodies in the defensive backfield, making those passes more challenging.
Exactly, Mike, and really good coverage on all 3 of those pass plays. Guys at least in the area, you see a pass breakup, a couple balls that were just a little bit off because of good coverage. And you're right, when a team becomes one-dimensional, they're a little bit easier to defend, but this is a very capable Concordia team. They moved.
We have a flag on the play. Keenan Velverty will get it at the 45, and the play is whistled dead. So the defenders leading, and in men's basketball, by the way, Dordt leading Ottawa 62-34. So after a last-second loss last night, up big on the Ottawa Braves. So it is 5-yard penalty against the Bulldogs. Somebody leave a little bit early, Kyle?
They did. The wide guy on the line of scrimmage just got a little anxious.
4th down and 15. And they get a spiraling kick over the head of Velverty, and that's one of the rare times, and he kicks it out of bounds, so Velverty would have had no return or no fair catch on it. And that will set up 1st down and 10 for the defenders. But the defenders now playing with a 3-score lead. And I don't see any reason why they would change their game plan, because it hasn't been like they've been taking unnecessary risks up to this point to get a 3-score lead.
Yeah, absolutely. Doing a good job of running the ball now. This is where you might see the Concordia defense try to roll the dice a little bit, thinking that Dordt's going to run at every play. So at some point, we're probably still going to take a shot downfield, and we've got to be able to mix it up.
Cruz, pass complete. This is Van Dong. Van Dong picks up 9 yards on the play. It's going to be 1st down. They give him 1st down yardage on the play. It's going to be 1st down and 10. 1st and 10.
Well, on that one right there, Mike, starting a 1st down play with a pass. Again, that's a way you're going to keep this defense a little bit off balance, and you got to keep scoring. I mean, we talked about just how potent this Concordia offense can be, but if you keep scoring and you keep them on the sideline.
1st down and 10 for the defenders. Pass is tipped and incomplete, and falling, Jake Van Dong. Van Dong spun and lost his footing. It's going to set up 2nd down and 10 for the defenders at their own 48-yard line. 12:19 left to play in the 3rd quarter, and the clock stops on the incomplete pass. Scores from around the league, we have Northwestern leading at Doane 51-20 in the 4th period. Dakota Wesleyan trailing Midland 38-7, and Morningside up on Mount Marty 49-14. That is midway through the 3rd period. No surprises today in the league. Colson Cruz takes the snap. Hands it off, Velverty. Velverty on his feet, breaks a tackle. He's to the 40, gets a downfield block, 30 to the 25, cuts it back to the 21-yard line before he is brought down, and making the downfield block, I believe that was Snyder, who engaged his man and gave Velverty a little bit of room to work and picked up another 15 to 20 yards because of it.
Yeah, he just has great vision, Mike, and he was able to make the right cuts and bounce that outside after being downfield a little ways, and big play to keep this drive going.
1st down and 10 for the defenders at the 17-yard line. Now you've got Dickerson in the backfield, so another fresh set of legs for Dordt. Dickerson gets the handoff, weaving his way forward, picks up 7 or 8 on the play. And that'll be a Dordt, close to a Dordt 1st down. And the Dordt offense really starting to flex their muscle in terms of the running game. And Concordia scrambling on defense. Dordt up to the line of scrimmage quickly. Dordt giving them a dose of their own medicine. Handoff Dickerson. Dickerson to the 10. And he's down to the goal line.
He's
into the end zone. Touchdown defenders. And Daniel Dickerson with another score, and the Dordt defenders lead it 41-14. Daniel Dickerson, an inspired piece of running that time, Started to the left, came back to the right, broke 2 tackles, and then drags a couple of tacklers into the end zone, and helping get him there, ended up with a little push by Jaden Whitty, the tight end, and the defenders now lead it 41-14, pending another point after try by Stephen Leinen. So Leinen with his 6th point after try on the way. Dordt leading 42-14. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is through. And the Dordt defenders extend the lead to 28 with 11:10 left to play in the third period. Back with more from Open Space Park in 1 minute.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts.
Today's broadcast brought to you by Snyder Insurance and Financial Group of Sioux Center, offering life, health, Medicare supplements, annuities, and more. Trusted service and exceptional products with you in mind since 1973. Today's broadcast brought to you by 712 Realty, a team of realtors in Northwest Iowa with the drive, care, and results you need to buy or sell your home. Visit them online, 712realty.com, leading you home. This broadcast brought to you by the Ullman Funeral Homes. Chad Ullman, Lori Ewell, and Taylor Van Witchell providing professional attention to every detail.
Defenders leading by 28. And after this kickoff, I want to just walk through what could have been for Concordia and now how we've arrived at this point. So Stephen Leinen will be kicking off. And Leinen, line drive kick. This will be taken. Nope, they're going to let that one go through the end zone. Okay, so you're Concordia. You're down 28-14 near the end of the first half. You've got the football. You're thinking score, get the kickoff, score again, tie game. Very plausible. How do you recover from that mindset to now being down 4 scores?
Yeah, just a total disastrous start to the second half for Concordia. Absolutely threw them for a loop here, and you got to give credit, obviously, to the defenders causing a turnover, getting a score, 3 and out, ball back. You know, we're doing everything right now.
And now they hand off to Tyler Douglas, and you got to do that to keep them honest, because we saw how difficult it was for Concordia to complete passes when they abandoned the run game. Now 2nd down and 9 on the way.
Yeah, and for the defensive unit right now, you just can't give up any quick scores. Force Concordia to really earn it. And, even that, there's a completion for a first down, 12-yard gain. But
middle of the field, clock keeps running.
You just got to not give up the big ones. Make them earn every down. And even if it's a scoring drive, if they take some time off the clock.
Get the ball back to
exactly.
You. 1st down and 10. Handoff. This is Douglas. Douglas, short gain on the play, maybe picks up 2. Tackle made by Jamin Stewart. 2nd down and 8. 10:15 left to play in the third quarter. Dordt leading 42-14. It was 28-14 at halftime. Concordia turned it over on their first play from scrimmage in the second half. Dordt capitalized later. Back to passes Stark. Stark pumps. Now comes back and tripped up. Tackle made by Johnson for the defenders. That's, Henderson. Josh Henderson. We hope we see Joe Johnson before the year is over. 3rd down and 5. And the Bulldogs with it at their own 42-yard line. Likely 4-down territory in this situation here, trailing by 4 scores, needing 5 yards, approaching midfield. 3rd down and 5. Send a man in motion. That's Bartles. Back to passes Stark. Stark has a man open out of the backfield. Pumps, now throws. Pass incomplete. And Trevion Dawson almost comes away with it. And, Concordia is going to punt.
Yeah, good route recognition by Dawson. He was able to jump that, and he had the best shot at the ball. The wide receiver ended up having to play defensive back and make sure that didn't go the other way.
9:30 left to go in the quarter. Clock stops on the incomplete pass.
Got to be heads up here, though. You don't want to give up a cheap first down off of a fake punt.
I'm watching 44 Maddox Rickardson, and he will not take the short snap. It's punted away. Fair catch called for at the 30-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for the defenders at their own 30, leading 42-14, and in the driver's seat with 9:24 left to play in the third period. Remind you who makes some of these broadcasts possible. We want to make special note of our pregame and postgame show sponsor, Wireless World, your local Verizon authorized retailer. 7 locations in Northwest Iowa. Visit them at wirelessworld.com. And also Hague Health Center bringing you the highlight package at halftime and postgame, proudly serving your local community for nearly 60 years with a commitment to healing body, mind, and spirit. Cruz back to pass. Pass is complete to Vendong. Vendong angles to the outside, has some room to run to the 50, to the 45, spins away, 43-yard line, and a first down for the defenders and Jacob Vendong. And we talk about the depth of the defenders at running back. Their wide receiver crew is pretty deep too.
Yeah, we're obviously when you don't have probably your best wide receiver playing, you want other guys to step up, and really they have. We got a lot of weapons out there, a lot of guys that just make plays, and that was a play, short pass play, ends up being a big play with yards after the catch.
First down and 10 for the defenders. Cruz is going to scramble. Cruz looking downfield. Cruz is going to pick up 7 yards, and I like that. Steps out of bounds.
Yep.
Live to play another game, another down, and that is so valuable because at this point, with Noah Strickfaden not in uniform today, Cade Rose now a very unknown quantity in terms of backup quarterback. You want Colson Cruz to be out there.
Absolutely, and yeah, that's just that's an upperclassman making a smart play and getting out of bounds. The advantage now is you can get out of bounds, the clock keeps moving, right?
Yeah.
The new clock rules, a couple years old now, that works to our advantage.
Second down and 2, Valverde with the carry and a first down, and the Dordt defenders first down and 10 at the Bulldog 26-yard line, and things getting more challenging for the Bulldogs at this point. Dordt leading 42-14. And our live stats back up and running. We can tell you that Dordt now approaching, well, they're over 200 yards of rushing offense today, 219 already. First down and 10 for the defenders at the 28. They hand it off to Valverde. Bounces to the outside, has a seam, 20, 15, and brought down inside the 15 at the 11-yard line. And Keenan Valverde, before this is all said and done, he's going to be knocking on the door of 100 yards. He's got 9 carries now. And I think he's over 90 yards.
Wow.
It's not a bad per carry average.
Well, and when talk about demoralizing for a defense, right? They got to be thinking, how many running backs and how many fresh legs do these guys keep running out at us? Because it doesn't matter who's on the field carrying the ball. They're all extremely capable.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the 13. Handoff to McCoy. McCoy racing to the edge, and there is something out there right now. Right now, the defenders, Preston McCoy, tumbles into the end zone for another touchdown, and for Preston, his second touchdown of the day, and for the defenders, their 6th rushing touchdown. Daniel Dickerson has the hat trick, and McCoy ran over the would-be tackler, and right now the defenders having their way, leading 48-14, pending a point after try from Stephen Leinen.
Well, and I got to think that the Concordia coaches are a little bit frustrated. They have a defensive back trying to make a statement on a receiver, driving a receiver out of bounds, and not making a play on the runner. We'll let them do that all day long.
Stephen Leinen on to try the point after. Snap is out, kick is up, and Stephen taking target practice right now at the filmer. He hit the bullseye that time, and the Dordt defenders with a 49-14 lead with 6:49 left to play in the third period. We'll be back with a kickoff from Open Space Park in 1 minute. Well, the Dordt defenders, 445 yards of offense on 52 plays so far. Leinen kicks it towards the corner, takes a skip, and it is inside the one.
Great. That has got to be down at the one. I think that
he tried to establish himself out of bounds and then touched it. So then it's ruled out of bounds. But Stephen Leinen spun it dead at the one, at the pylon. And Concordia, it's going to be a heads-up play, and they're going to.
It's a heads-up play, but what a dumb rule!
I agree.
What a dumb rule!
I'm not going to say it's not.
Oh my goodness! You know, kickers obviously.
Yeah, you practice that. He should be rewarded for something better than that.
Absolutely. That is not.
I mean, that's
online.
as good as it gets. Well, there's a reason that we think he's an all-conference kicker and might be an All-American type candidate, and it's not all because of his field goals and his point afters. It is the play. It is the kickoffs as well. Handoff up the middle, and Sassman on the carry picks up 15 on the play into Dordt territory, just inside the 50. First down for the Bulldogs, trailing 49-14, 6.5 left to go in the third period. I'd feel better if it was the fourth period. The pass to the sideline complete, and looks like another close to a first down. Looks like shy of the first down on the completion to Skleba. It's going to be 2nd down and 1 for Stark. So the Bulldogs trailing by 35. They need to score 5 touchdowns to get back. Handoff to Sassman. Sassman with the carry to the 38-yard line and a first down for the Bulldogs. Right now the defenders have outgained Concordia 445 to 255. Defenders have been forced to punt twice. Concordia's turned it over twice and have punted 4 times. Stark back to pass. Stark looking right. Stark pass is broken up, incomplete. It's Cole Johnson breaking it up on the pass intended for Max Bartles. That's a nice job by Johnson getting his hands in there and knocking it away.
Yeah, that's a long throw for a quarterback, but he put it about the only place he could. It was just a nice defensive play.
Clock stops on the incomplete pass with 5:41 left to play in the third period. Gideon Stark has Sassman behind him, fakes the handoff to Sassman. Completion to the tight end, runs over a tackler, and he's going to be forced out of bounds at the 10-yard line, and that's a first down for the Bulldogs. Down to the 10, and it'll be first down and goal to go. No, they mark him out of bounds, looks like at the 15-yard line. So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Dordt 15, trailing 49-14. 49-14, man in motion is Johnny Pels. Handoff to Sassman. Sassman, arm tackle, and I believe that was Zach Queering that reached up and got a piece of Sassman first. Thomas McCullough comes up to finish him off. Under 5 minutes to go in the third period. 2nd down and 7, so a gain of 3 on the play for Sassman. Concordia needs the 5-yard line for a first down. They hand it off Sassman. Sassman, again, this time stopped at the 8-yard line. Again, an arm tackle by the defenders. And it's going to be 3rd down. 3rd down, and it looks like 4 to me from my vantage point. They need the 5. They're at the 9. And if you're Concordia, I don't know if you're so fired up about a really quick score here, because your defense has really been struggling this half.
Exactly. You want to give those guys a little bit of a break, but, yeah, they're in the point.
Yeah, they need points.
They just need the points.
Back to pass. Stark is going to keep it himself, and he's going to be stopped shy of the first down marker by a couple of yards. That's going to set up 4th down. So 4th down for the Bulldogs. They'll take their time now. 3:50 remaining. They'll go for it here. Field goal doesn't do much for them at this point. Trailing by 5 scores. 49-14. The defenders 21-0 here in the second half. Stark has Sassman behind him.
Yeah, Concordia has to be really deliberate here on 4th down, make sure they get the right play call in, but using up some time.
4th down and 4. They're going to throw a fade to the end zone, and they
Nice
caught
catch.
it. Touchdown.
Good coverage, good throw, good catch.
Carter Skleba.
Yeah, you can't.
In the corner.
Got to give them credit,
Beg your
right?
pardon, Johnny Pels. And that's a bit of a matchup in terms of stature. He's able to go up, make the grab in the corner. Bobbling it as he came down, but managed.
Boy, I tell you what, throw the challenge flag.
Well, we'll get another replay look at that after the point after try.
That looked a lot closer than what I thought at first.
And the point after is blocked. And the Dordt defenders keep it at a 29-point difference, 49-20. We are caught up on breaks. We've had plenty of breaks, so let's take a look at that touchdown once again if we can on the Dordt Media Network. As there's the play. Stark passed to the sideline, bobbled it.
Oh, yeah, I guess that was
He
in.
got the one hand and pinned it against his chest. So
I thought that left foot was on the line, but it was inbound, so good play.
So the defenders will get the football back. Concordia trailing, though, 49-20. Now, before we get too comfortable, Concordia earlier this season was up big on Midland. I think it was 35-7, something like that. And then midway through the third quarter, that was when the running back got hurt. Colazzo got hurt. They started giving the ball back to Midland. Midland struck quickly and ended up winning it in overtime, and that was about a quarter and a half where Concordia could not move the football. I say that simply because there's still a lot of football left to be played.
Anything can happen. I think it's going to be really important that this Dordt offense finishes every remaining drive with a kick, right? Whether it's a score kick or a punt, you just can't have those quick possessions where you're giving it back to this Concordia offense. We know, well, just that drive, how quickly they can score and how efficient they are.
See if Concordia kicks it away, and they will not gamble here early, and that kick goes through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the defenders at their own 25-yard line with 3:18 remaining. So the defenders with a 29-point lead, 49-20, surrendering that score. Gideon Stark, the completion to Johnny Pels for 8 yards, capping a 9-play, 65-yard drive, and now the Dordt offense will be on the field. Got Connor Dodd in at running back for the defenders as well. So the defenders, we talked about their depth at running back, and Connor Dodd, he'll get some reps here. Fresh legs again, Dordt. And they hand it off to Dodd. Dodd hits the hole hard, picks up 6 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 4. I will not be surprised if he breaks one.
No, he's got that big play capability, and he can make one guy miss, and he can be out to the races against any secondary. He can outrun most guys.
And Concordia has 7 or 8 guys right up near the line of scrimmage. I mean, they are not hiding what they are trying. I mean, within 5 yards, they've got 7 players can get to that second level. They hand it off to Dodd. Dodd trying to get to the outside and shoestring tackle, and he is caught. No gain. It's going to be 3rd down. So the defenders will try to extend this drive, facing 3rd down with 2:25 left to go in the third period, leading 49-20, and the defenders in no hurry right now to run plays. They can take this under 2 minutes before they snap the football, facing 3rd down and 3. And for the Bulldogs, you're just trying to get a stop, get your offense back on the field. And you feel like you get within a couple of scores, you got a shot. Right now they're trailing 49-20, so 4 scores. Cruz gets the snap, hands it off, and this is going to be short of the 1st down. So a gain of 3. They needed 4. It's going to be 4th down. 4th down and 1, and the defenders will punt with Ivan Orozco. So the defenders able to, on that set of downs, took about 3 minutes or so off of the clock.
Yeah, now you just want to get this punt off, force a long field situation for the Bulldog offense.
Orozco stationed at his own 21-yard line. And we have a timeout on the field charged to Dordt. So Dort's going to talk it over. They saw something on the special teams, and they're probably thinking, okay, see what Concordia is thinking in terms of coming with a block attempt, and now maybe you set things up a little differently. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll keep it right here. Is that what they're talking about? Is that what they see? It just see.
Now Coach Penner has the offense in the huddle here. I don't think we'll go for it, but yeah, I mean, this is very much a ball game of the clock, right? And you want to use every second. So, yeah, if you get the offense back out there and convert, you can take a lot more time off the clock. But yeah,
I'd rather have them going 70 yards than 30.
I'm with you, and I think this might be a little bit of gamesmanship. I don't think the offense is going back on the field, but we're getting the Concordia team having to think about it a little bit.
I don't see Ivan.
And I'm wrong.
Okay. 4th down and 1. Execute. You're doing this at your own 34-yard line. I guess you feel like you're playing with house money here, up by 29. You need 1 yard to advance the football and a new set of downs.
Now, do we go with a hard count, try to pull them off sides? Got it.
So play clock
now
is at 25.
Reset it.
And Cruz is under center. Go to the hard count. Connor Dodd behind him now. 1:14 left to play, and now we'll have another timeout. So Dordt went to the timeout, tried to see if they could pick up a free one here, and I think now we'll see the punt team back onto the field. So see if you can get them to bite. They didn't. Now if we come back with the offense this time, then you better run it.
You better run it then. But
this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. Dordt basketball team leading Ottawa 89-68. That's with about 7 minutes remaining. The defenders led by Jake Hardens and Henkel with 17 points each. Connor Milliken has 15. And I see Ivan Orozco on the field now. We'll also try to get you a hockey update. Hockey played until about midnight last night. 4-0, they beat Missouri State. And they'll come back, and they're playing right now. Should be probably about the second intermission, I would guess, at this point. They started at 2 o'clock, so short turnaround and back at it today in Springfield, Missouri. Snap to Orozco, and a spiraling kick taken at the 17-yard line to the 20, to the 25, to the 27-yard line. And that's it. With 1:03 left to play in the third quarter, Dordt leading 49-20, and Concordia will take over 1st down and 10 deep in their own territory. Earlier today, the Dordt cross-country teams, a championship for the women, a runner-up finish for the men at the GPAC championship. And individual winners, Truman Johnson and Corinne Brown, with a couple of individual titles for the defenders. We'll have to wait and see now if the defenders make the NAI National Championship on the men's side. I think the likelihood is better than 50-50. Gideon Stark gets the snap. We've got a flag thrown before the
got a little motion by somebody up front for the Bulldogs. Back them up.
Well, in that hockey game, they are, in fact, in the second intermission. 4-3, Dordt leads against Missouri State. 1st down and 15 for the Bulldogs. Dordt women also won earlier today. They beat John Brown in a game played in Orange City. Handoff to running back. Been the running back of choice, Kelvin Sassman. And Sassman, short gain on the play. It's going to set up 2nd down and long. So Sassman, that's his 22nd carry today for 68 yards. He's had to work for everything he's gotten. Swing, they pass out of the back and trying to hit Max Bartles. breaking that up was the defender's Thomas Walder. He's had 3 pass breakups now. You're going to get your chances when you're playing Concordia simply because they throw the ball so much. And the Dordt defense, I felt, made some adjustments in the defensive backfield, and they've been much more sound here in the second half.
Yeah, and they've run that jailbreak, kind of that tunnel screen quite often. And, yeah, he read it quickly, almost made a play for interception.
Stark is going to take a shot over the top, incomplete. Ethan Mills on the coverage. And that's going to bring up 4th down and 14. Concordia at their own 22-yard line, and they have no choice but to punt. This will be Braxton Cook punting. The defenders, 454 yards of offense. Concordia, 296. The defenders, 25 minutes of possession. Keenan Valverde is at his own 43-yard line. Line of scrimmage is the 22. There's 30 seconds left to play.
And I think they just took a delay of game.
Wanted another 5 yards to work with?
I guess. I don't know. I think that was...
you got to snap the football.
Yeah. Coach Dabercow can't be happy with that right there.
Drive you crazy. So 4th down and 17 now. And a spiraling kick drives Valverde back to the 40. Bobbled it. He's back to his own 25-yard line. Shoestring tackle at the 25. And Keenan has a lot of confidence in trying to make that over-the-shoulder catch. Did the most important thing, scoop it up, maintain possession of it.
Right.
And Dordt with a little poorer field position than they would have hoped for. They'll start out at their own, looks like the 26-yard line. So 1st down and 10 for the defenders at their own 26 with 19 seconds left to play in the 3rd period.
Big punt.
Swings the field position a little bit.
Field position swing there. I was expecting Dordt to
be back at the 20 if they didn't have that delay of game.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right.
1st down and 10. Man in motion is Van Dong. Might have had movement in the Dordt backfield. They hand it off to Valverde. Valverde, yard gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down. So 2nd down and 9. That's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Our score, Dordt 49, Concordia 20. Let's take a 1-minute break. You're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and watching the Dordt Media Network. Back with the 4th quarter, Dordt leading 49-20 when we're back right after this.
Welcome to Sioux Center, Iowa. Life in the center of everything. Where we connect with friends, coworkers, family, and the great outdoors. Knowing that in Sioux Center, you're never far from making the next great memory. And we grow great companies that make cutting-edge breakthroughs to make life better here and around the world. And when it's time to play, we keep friendship, family, and a bright future at the center of everything.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by RA Rentals. Looking for top-notch rental equipment for the next project? Look no further than RA Rentals, located in Sioux Center, Spencer, Storm Lake, and Sioux Falls. RA Rentals, your regional equipment rental experts. Discover more than just inventory, service, and financing for Ford models. Mao Motor Company is committed to exceptional customer service. Mao Motor on Highway 75 North in Sioux Center. Online, maomotor.com. Today's broadcast brought to you by Hague Health Center, proudly serving your local community for nearly 60 years with a commitment to healing body, mind, and spirit.
Second down and 9 for the defenders. For the Concordia Bulldogs, becomes a pretty challenging proposition here unless you start giving the ball back. And the defenders, no need to take chances at this point. Second down and 9. We'll see if Concordia plays it accordingly. I think Daniel Dickerson back into the game for the defenders as well. He's got 3 touchdown scores already. The defenders pitch it over to, they fake the pitch to Valverde, and coming back the other way, Rhett Williams. Williams with his first catch of the day.
That's
inside the
hit.
45, down to the 43, and they're not going to call a penalty. And he took a step or two on the white, got knocked to the ground.
Yeah, it wasn't a vicious hit, but you can't knock somebody to the ground when he's 2 yards out of bounds.
second catch of the day. I have to go back and amend that. He had a catch earlier this afternoon, did Rhett Williams, his second catch for 48 yards. And the defenders now in Concordia territory at the 43-yard line. First down and 10 at the 44, beg your pardon. Colson Cruz has Dickerson behind him, hands it off to Daniel. Daniel bounces to the outside, 40, 35, 30, runs over a tackler down to the 31-yard line. Daniel Dickerson putting together a nice game in his return to action today. 8th carry. He's got well over 60 yards now. He's also got 3 touchdown scores. He's sensing a 4th one, I think.
Yeah. He wants to finish this drive in the end zone.
First down and 10 for the defenders. Dordt taking their time. 13:50 remaining here in the 4th quarter. First down and 10. The defenders got Rhett Williams coming from right to left. He's going to line up as a tight end over there. Handoff Dickerson. Dickerson, the ball carrier. Dickerson dragged down from behind, but picks up about 6 yards on the play. It's going to be second down and 3. So 2nd and 3. I do have to mention, we had our share of difficulties with the Dordt Media Network earlier this year. We got those sorted out. Rich Lodewijk and the crew did a lot of extra work to get things the way they wanted them to. The last 2 games now have been really great and back to what we've become accustomed to. So before we get to the post game and talk about that, I do want to point out that did not come without some sweaty, tense times. And
right.
Just want to make sure that we recognize the fact that they have put together a tremendous product. Handoff to Dickerson. Dickerson inside the 20, down to about the 19. They're going to mark him at the 20-yard line. Set 3rd down and 2. So 3rd down and 2 for the defenders. 12 and a half left to go in the game. Defenders with this one in hand, but trying to finish it off, and I think a score here would really put the exclamation point on this one. The defenders with nearly 300 yards of rushing offense against a Concordia team that came in averaging under 100 yards allowed on the ground. Colson Cruz, 3rd down, handoff, Dickerson. Dickerson hits the hole hard. He's past the 15, down to the 14-yard line, and that's a first down for the defenders.
Yeah, just keep that clock going, picking up first downs.
Now, I have not seen Joel Akers on the sideline. I'm guessing he's got one of those big jackets on, but you sub out your center, and sometimes that can be a little bit dicey, but Beck has come in and handled things pretty well on that center to quarterback exchange.
Yeah, and there's been a few where it's Cruz has had to do a good job of adjusting to a snap that's just a little off, but for the most part Beck has really answered the call here.
First down and 10 for the defenders at the 15. They turn and hand it off to Dickerson. Dickerson up the middle. Daniel Dickerson waltzes into the end zone. Touchdown number 4 for Daniel Dickerson. And the Dordt defenders have a 55-20 lead with 11:09 remaining in regulation. Stephen Leinen on to attempt the point after try. This will be his 8th point after try. I would imagine it gets a little colder on the Concordia sideline right about now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of guys finding their way back to the tent where they may have a little heater going. But it's definitely, when you're down this big, you're doing everything you can just to stay warm.
Credit Connor Stephens that time as he snags the snap from Isaac Kakmarinsky, gets it down. And the point after try by Stephen Leinen is good, and the Dordt defenders blow the lead up to 56-20 with 11:09 left to play in the contest. The Dordt defenders with this one in hand, and we'll have a kickoff coming up shortly. We have had ample opportunities to get our sponsor breaks in today. We thank our sponsors for sticking with us all year long. Also a reminder that if you would like to keep making these broadcasts free of charge, This is part of a production done by the Dordt Media Network and by KIHK. If you want to learn more about business and individual sponsorship opportunities to continue to make these broadcasts available free of charge, you can contact me, mike.biker@dordt.edu. It's going to be a fresh one out on the soccer pitch tonight, I'm not going to lie.
Yes, it will be.
I warned my student employees, dress for the weather. We'll see how they interpret that.
Well,
I have an extra jacket or two in my van just in case.
Yeah, well, I saw a couple of student employees on the field at halftime, and I can't say they were enjoying the temperatures, but they were bundled up pretty well.
Stephen Leinen pops one. Short kick taken at the 32-yard line. And it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 40-yard line on the short return by the up man for the Bulldogs. And it'll be first down and 10 for Concordia. And Stephen Leinen pulling every tool out of the tool chest right now.
Well, and that may have been a we respect your returner type of kick. The one thing you don't want to do is give up a big special teams play.
Nope, you don't want a lightning strike.
So force them to earn it here on the offensive side of the ball.
Stark turns, hands, gives to Sassaman. Sassaman, the ball carrier, and Sassaman forced out of bounds. And for Sassaman, he has carried the football 23 times for over 70 yards. For the defenders, now you've got Valverde and Dickerson, both with 97 yards on the ground. Preston McCoy, 58. Colson Cruz, 39. Cruz also 11 of 18 passing. Concordia going quick, and they throw it to the sideline, complete to Skleba. Steps out of bounds with 10:40 remaining. First down for the Bulldogs at the Dordt 47-yard line, and you said it earlier, Kyle, you just don't want to give up the big play here. Keep everything in front of you. They call them safeties for a reason. You keep it in front of you. If this one holds up, though, you start thinking about the magnitude of next week's game. Handoff, Sassaman, short gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Yeah, and we've been pretty intentional to not mention next week until we felt this one in hand.
There, yeah.
But yeah,
I feel pretty confident that it might happen.
I think next week's looking pretty big.
Second down and 9. Football at the 46-yard line. Max Bartles in motion. Under 10 minutes to go. Back to pass. Stark steps up, throws to the sideline. Incomplete, intended for Maddox Rickardson. And that'll bring up third down. Third down and 9 for the Bulldogs at the Dordt 47. Next week, of course, Morningside in Sioux City. And it certainly would appear if the outcomes hold up for what we think they will, probably for the it will be for the conference championship, either outright or shared.
Right.
Who'd have thought? Third down and 9. Stark motions Sassaman out of the backfield. Stark looking downfield. Stark, I think somebody got his arm as he threw, if not on the pass, but on the follow-through, close enough that he got nervous. It's going to be fourth down and 9, and the Concordia Bulldogs are going to punt the football away.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised with that being across midfield. You'd think they'd go for it. So I'd be really heads up on this punt, but what this tells us, they've conceded it.
Yeah.
This game is over. It's just a matter of running off this last 9:39.
It's over. It's just not done yet. And that one's got the backwards flip to it, and a fair catch called. No, he didn't call for the fair catch. He never calls for the fair catch.
That's a gutsy one.
Valverde at his 16-yard line. Picks up 6 yards somehow. I think the defense, I thought the cover team thought he called a fair catch, but he did not.
Yeah, I think they just assumed, hey, we're down here so easily.
Why would you return that?
He did, though. A gutsy play. Yeah. And that's what you want in your punt returners.
He's got nerves. I mean, man.
Yeah.
First down and 10 for the defenders at their own 16-yard line. Also coming up tonight on KIHK, we'll have Dordt volleyball at Mitchell, South Dakota. Got Cade Rose now in the game now for the defenders. He hands it off to Connor Dodd. Dodd trying to get to the edge, turns upfield, 40, 40, and he's forced out of bounds. So Connor Dodd on the carry. And the Dordt defenders with another first down at their own 40-yard line with 9:11 left to go in the game.
Yeah, I think you're seeing a few new numbers on the field in the offensive line as well. You're
Mitchell
at the
Schneff is out there. I'm not sure. I don't have 79 on my 2 deep. Evan Beck is your center. You're going to leave him there, get him as many reps as possible.
Yeah,
I think Colin Friesen is still over on the right side.
Yeah.
First down and 10 for the defenders at their own 40. Rose now hands it off. Dodd trying to get to the edge on the right side this time. He does. He's to the 50, and he picks up another 5 yards after contact. 15-yard pickup on the play for Connor Dodd, and a first down. Connor Dodd taking out some frustration. He had some near misses in the first half, or in his first series. This time, though, he's picking up a couple of carries for 15 yards each.
Yeah, and nice physical run at finishing that thing well. You get guys that are the speedy, shifty type, and they don't always finish runs well, but Connor with a good solid end to that run.
346 yards of rushing offense for the defenders today. Rose now bobbles it, still has it up in the air. Now he's got to try to make something out of it. Was hoping maybe he'd get outside the pocket and throw it downfield and throw it away. Gets caught behind the line of scrimmage, though. Loss of 7 or 8. That's a loss of 10. It's going to be 2nd and 20.
A little slippery ball there, maybe.
Took him a little while to gather it in. So Dodd in at running back. We've got Ben Flora also lining up in the slot. Carter Queering, is he on the near side? Rose now facing 2nd down and 20, 7:10 remaining. They hand it off to Dodd. Dodd caught behind the line of scrimmage that time. A loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and 23. Dodd didn't have much room there. And good penetration that time by the Concordia defense. 56-20, Concordia trailing. So the Dordt defenders trying to close this one out and set up a championship game in effect for the conference title, either outright or shared next week. Win today, and the defenders wrap up at least a share of a conference title. First ever in program history. 3rd down and 23. Still got to finish this one out, though, leading by 36. Feel pretty good about it. Cade Rose now hands it off. Dodd up the middle. Dodd to the 50, to the 40, and he is dragged down at the 41-yard line.
So close, and he was feeling it. He thought he was going to take that one to the house.
You going to go for it here, or are you going to punt? Going to punt.
Yeah.
Roscoe on to punt. Dordt will take it down to about a 5:40 before they need to kick it away. Other scores in the league today: Northwestern and Doane have gone final, 51-20. Midland beat Dakota Wesleyan 45-7, and Morningside put up 63 today against the Mount Marty Lancers, 63-20. 5 seconds to get the play off for the defenders. 2 seconds left. Now they'll snap it to a Roscoe, and Dordt forced to use a timeout, as took a little bit too long to get everybody on the field. Personnel. So this timeout brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, Coach Penner showing a little frustration there, having to burn that last time out. It's more how you want to finish a game. You got this thing won, but when you're making some mental mistakes and not having everybody on the field ready to go on that punt play, you just want to make sure that guys are completely and totally engaged, and you want to finish it well.
The defenders leading 56-20. They've outscored Concordia 28-6 here in the second half, and I've had a listener ask, is this close to an all-time high for rushing? Oh, no, not even close, and I'll give you a little history. Remember, there were some years where we didn't throw the ball at all.
That's a good way to say it, yeah.
4th down and 3, Dordt punting the football away. Ivan Orozco will try to pin it inside the 20. And the Ball will take a bounce at the 15, and it'll roll dead at the 11. And that will set up first down and 10 for the Bulldogs, deep in their own territory. So I'm gonna fill you in on a little history in terms of single game team records, and some of these have happened with Joel Penner as head coach. The most net yards rushing, 2019, Hastings, 598 yards on the ground.
That's a lot of rushing yards.
Ran for 563 against Dakota Wesley in the same year. Have 3 games of over 500. And the pass complete to Ian Medic, that is. Brings up second down and 7 as we wind down to about 5 minutes remaining. And for Concordia, they came in and you saw the emotion and the fact that they were playing. They win this one. They stay in the hunt for a potential playoff berth, and that was not to be today. Handoff right side, short gain on the play, pickup of 3. And that was the backup running back, Tyler Douglas. I'm going to guess that Sassman's day is over, and he got some punishment today. Everything he got, he earned today. It's going to be third down and 4. 4:44 remaining. Stark trying to engineer something here. They hand it off to Douglas. Douglas, short gain on the play, close to a first down.
And they gave it to him.
Yeah, they'll give it to him, and Concordia content to run. We'll see if they take a shot down the field again or not. Just taking a look. To make the top 16 for, the top 30 for rushing yards, you got to get 325 for Dordt as a team. So there are historically some big numbers rushing the football. Stark flares it out, far side, incomplete, intended. And that's a new player as well for the Bulldogs. And that will bring up second down. So Dordt's going to Morningside next week. It is, to me, well, I'll say it, and I want your reaction. Handoff, Douglas, and Sassman. Sassman back into the ball game, makes a liar out of me, picks up 2 on the play, third down and 8. There is the challenge of just simply getting to that game. I mean, you look at the schedule as a fan, you look at it and you think, okay, what could be? But there are so many things that can happen along I'm not going to say go wrong. I'm going to say so many things that can happen that you never even get to that situation next Saturday.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, we've had our share of injuries, and we've had a lot of guys really step up and make plays and step into some roles and do some really great things. But, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just have to have you got to get a few breaks, but you also have to make things happen, right?
No, you got to be good.
You have to be good, and you know, the previous 2 weeks, we've had some challenges. We've really had to fight for some wins, and that's often when you see a team have a little bit of a hiccup. But maintaining focus and finishing those games with wins, and then to turn around and just have a dominating performance against a really pretty solid football team. This speaks a lot about just Coach Penner's program and what's been built, and the guys on the field stepping up and playing well.
We have a player shaken up for the Concordia Bulldogs. That's Jeremiah Vasquez, the right tackle, and he's going to take the long walk across the field. Yeah, when you say the last 2 weeks, I mean, last week, if not for that interception, Hastings is throwing 4 passes into the end zone to win the game at the end of regulation.
Exactly, yeah. And you have a guy step up and make a play in that thing, and, yeah, you need those kind of things and plays to happen to be in this point.
Gideon Stark back to pass and in and out of the hands of Noah Mills. Mills very nearly picks it off, and it's going to be fourth down. So Mills very nearly picks it off, goes through his hands. And with 3:42 left to go in the game, it's pretty much all academic at this point. The Concordia Bulldogs will be punting. Keenan Valverde will take his spot, and he's giving a little more respect to Braxton Cook now, backing his way inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line.
You think he's going to fair catch this, Mike?
He won't. Not a chance. He has wanted a, well, he did.
He did.
Called for it.
A little bit of shorter punt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, then you just
Wise
get a running,
decision.
You just get a running start at it then.
That means a big collision a lot of the times.
Yeah, so Keenan Valverde calls for the fair catch at his own 36-yard line, first down and 10 for the defenders. And Cade Rose now will bring the defenders out onto the field and just feel like maybe one first down and this one is over.
Yep.
First down and 10 for the defenders who coming out to the soccer pitch tonight. Want to work?
I think I'm going to be catching that one online.
Okay.
I love the Dordt Media Network.
Especially on nights like tonight.
You know it.
Yeah. It will be cold, but playing for a spot in a GPAC championship, and one last time to see Karina Tell on the pitch here in Sioux Center. First down carry by Dodd, caught at the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. And I have said often over the past 3 years, we've gotten really spoiled because players like that at any sport don't come around very often, and we will not host the championship game if we get there. This is all likelihood it for her on the pitch here, and she'll go down as one of the all-time greats.
Absolutely.
If not the best of all time up to this point for the Dordt women's soccer program. So one more chance. 56-20, Dordt with it. Using the clock. Rose now. Connor Dodd behind him. Turns, hands, gives to Dodd. Dodd, not much there. Well, picks
Get a little push.
A couple of yards on the second effort. It's going to be third down. And they're going to have to snap the ball one more time before the 2-minute warning. So third down and 8. So a pickup of 2 on the play. And like I said, we'll have that women's volleyball match tonight on KIHK as well. We'll be doing that one remotely. Back in my younger days, I would have hopped in the car and sped over to Mitchell. Come home at 11 o'clock and written a bunch of recaps. I have gotten wiser in my I don't want to say old age, but
no, you're not.
I'm
old.
figuring
you're
things
a young
out.
guy. You're a young guy.
Yeah. Third down and 8. Hand off to Dodd. Dodd picks up 3, breaks a tackle, takes a big hit at the end of the play.
Yeah, just kind of awkward, but nice to see Connor pop up after that one.
Picks up 4 on the play, and that's going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. This time out brought to you by Casey's Bakery. Find your favorite bakery products at caseysbakery.com. We'll be back with more from Sioux Center in 1 minute.
At American Investment and Trust, we know financial planning is a never-ending journey, and we have the right team to take you every step of the way. We understand that a solid financial framework can only be built when risks are considered. Planning for tomorrow means starting today. And once you've built a legacy, we help make sure your vision carries on to the next generation. For a comprehensive financial plan, the team at American Investment and Trust is here for you. American Investment and Trust, managing change.
So Roscoe on to punt as the 2-minute warning happens, and this will be return. No. Return man for the Bulldogs brought down at the 15-yard line, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs with 1:52 remaining, and the Dordt defenders leading 56-20. In Sioux City today, the Morningside Mustangs, winners over Mount Marty by a final of 63-20, so a very similar outcome to this one. So 63-20, Morningside with the win to move to 8-1 in conference play. A new quarterback in for the Bulldogs. Handoff up the middle, and Concordia, Camden Jensen now in at quarterback. Short gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and 9. Next week, Concordia will be hosting Northwestern. See if they bounce back, or Northwestern seems to have turned the corner here in the last month or so and playing pretty good football. I'm glad that we caught them early this year. 2nd down and 9. Inside handoff. 5-yard pickup on the play for Tyler Douglas. Short of the first down, though. Picks up 3. It's going to be 3rd down and long. And the Bulldogs snap it one more time and likely let the clock run out.
Yeah.
1 minute remaining in regulation. 25 on the game clock.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this Concordia team bounces back. You know, there's just a different feel finishing the season 6-4 or 7-3, right?
And back-to-back losses, you don't want that. I mean, that's kind of what you remembered. Douglas tackled in the backfield for the defenders. That's Brody Pysick. And that's going to bring up 4th down. Concordia does not have to snap the football, and they won't. That's your final. The Dordt defenders improved to 9-0 this season with a 56-20 win. I'm not surprised the defenders won. I am surprised that it ended up being 36 points, but with Adam Van Cleve not playing for Concordia as well, they came in shorthanded. Becomes a matter of, okay, who's got the most weapons remaining, and it appeared that the Dordt defenders had the most weapons remaining.
Yeah, and just overall, just a fantastic game by the Dordt defenders, you know, being able to run the ball as well as they did today. Threw the ball with a lot of efficiency. Cruz had a nice ball game through the air as well. And just having that threat really opened up the run game, and just a solid ball game for Cruz and the entire Defender football team.
They are shaking hands, and it is time for the Wireless World Postgame Show. Let's take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back with the Wireless World Postgame Show right after this 2-minute timeout. The Dordt defenders come away with a 56-20 win here today over the Concordia Bulldogs, and we'll recap the scoring. And while I do that, go ahead and run the highlights, as there were plenty of them to choose from. The Dordt defenders today, in the first half, started with a 10-play, 79-yard drive, capped by a Colson Cruz 5-yard touchdown run. Dordt made it 14-0, capitalizing on an early interception off a tip pass. Daniel Dickerson, the first of 4 scores for him. He went 5 yards for the touchdown, capping a 4-play, 19-yard drive for Dordt. Gideon Stark then ran for 10 yards to get Concordia back to within a score at 14-7. Two teams exchanged touchdowns. Then with Daniel Dickerson, another 5-yard touchdown run. Stark, a pass completion to Maddox Rickardson to make it 21-14, and Dordt got a score late in the first half, 28-14, got a defensive stop, made it to halftime leading 28-14. Then after a turnover by the Bulldogs on their first play from scrimmage in the second half, Colson Cruz completed a pass to Isaac Looker for 13 yards. Dordt added another score with Daniel Dickerson capping a 5-play, 62-yard drive to make it 42-14. Preston McCoy got into the act, an 11-yard touchdown run to make it 49-14. Concordia did get a score late in the third period, 49-20. They had a 9-play, 65-yard drive, but Dordt got a blocked point after by Colson Queering. And then Daniel Dickerson capped the scoring with a 14-yard touchdown run to finish off a 7-play, 74-yard drive, and Dordt wins it by a final of 56-20. I can't overstate how important those early turnovers, both the one at the beginning of the game and then again to start the second half, how important those were for Dordt's effort here this afternoon.
Yeah, you could really see, especially coming out of the half, you could just see the Concordia sideline. They were just deflated after that. You know, I'm sure they were thinking, yeah, you're down 2 scores, but if you put together a scoring drive, you're just a score down, and I'm sure they had a lot of confidence coming out on the field, but to get that turnover and turn it into points right away really was the difference.
The defenders today, and we'll get to the individual numbers in just a little bit, though, but Kyle, 575 yards of total offense on 70 plays. Concordia ran 73 plays, got 322 yards. The Dordt defense, once they were able to force Concordia dimensional, things became much more challenging for Concordia.
Yeah, absolutely, and did really a nice job in the secondary. Yeah, there were a couple of busted plays in the first half, but after that, just played solid football. And yeah, when you hold a team like this to 20, it was a pretty good day for you.
9-0. We said early in the year, it's like, okay, this team has potential, but we know that there are so many things that can derail potential, including an injured quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
We have played the last month, in essence, with Colson Cruz filling in admirably as the backup, and we knew this might be the case eventually this year, and that's why it's important to have depth.
Absolutely. Depth is, that's key, and when your depth is a returning starter who has won playoff games and just knows how to win football games, that's a luxury most places and most teams don't have. And today I thought Colson Cruz played an outstanding football game, efficient with the pass game, 11 for 18 for the day, 195 yards, just a solid ball game. And having that threat, that's the key to any offense, is when you have the threat to throw the ball or run it. I mean, it absolutely opened up the running game with that ability to throw it that well.
You coming to Sioux City tomorrow, or am I going to be flying solo?
Oh, I can't miss that.
Well,
and because I'm sure our listeners will be tuning in, and I mean, what an opportunity! You got a chance to go to kind of the perennial power at Morningside and dethrone them totally. I mean, right now we got a share of the conference. That's already a big deal. But here's your chance to go there and be the outright GPAC champs. That's a game you can't miss.
Well, I will expect to see you there. I plan to make the trip as well.
That's good.
And we will we'll do our best to describe the action from Elwood Olson Stadium. And I would imagine if the weather is decent, we'll have a fair number of Dordt fans down there too. But 9-0 in conference play with one game remaining, and I'm going to let you go, Kyle. I've got some numbers to wrap up and a player of the game to give out and those kind of things. I will let you go. You don't have to sit and listen to me talk anymore. You've done that for about 3 hours. And
it's a long one today.
I will let you go. Thanks for coming along today.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike.
That's Kyle Achterhoff, and here are your final numbers for the Dordt defenders: 354 rushing yards, 221 passing yards. Concordia 107 on the ground, 215 through the air. All total, Dordt 575 to 322, the advantage in terms of yards gained. Concordia fumbled 3 times. They lost 1. They also threw 1 interception. Dordt was penalized 3 times for 35 yards. Concordia 3 times for 15 yards. Time of possession, about 35 minutes for the defenders and about 24 for the Bulldogs, give or take. Colson Cruz, 11 of 18 passing, 195 yards. Daniel Dickerson completed a pass for 26 yards as well. Keenan Valverde and Daniel Dickerson, 10 and 12 carries respectively, both for 97 yards. Connor Dodd, 10 carries for 69 yards. Preston McCoy, 10 carries for 58. Colson Cruz, 6 carries for 39. Isaac Looker, 4 catches, 67 yards and a touchdown. Jake Van Dong, 3 catches for 51 yards. Rhett Williams, 2 catches for 48 yards. For Concordia, Sassaman, 25 carries for 72 yards. Stark went 18 of 36 passing for 215, and he had a couple of touchdowns. Johnny Pels, 5 receptions for 84 yards, and Omel had 3 catches for 31 yards. Defensively for Dordt, they were led in tackles today by Isaac Kakmarinsky with 9. Cole Johnson had 8. Thomas McCullough had 7, and 6 for Elijah Doherty. For Concordia, their leading tacklers, Roland, Sear, Barnes, and Hoos all had 6. No sacks, I beg your pardon. No sacks recorded. Thomas Walder had 5 pass breakups. Trevian Dawson had a couple. And Henderson, that's Josh Henderson, had the interception. Special teams, Stephen Leinen, 0 for 1 on field goals. Tried that one from 50 yards at the end of the first half. Converted all 8 of his point after tries. Concordia's Peyton Atwood, 0 for 1 on field goals. He was 2 of 3 on point after tries. Punting, Ivan Orozco for the defenders, 5 punts, 39.2 is average. He had 3 pinned inside the 20. The Dordt defenders are now 9-0, and they will face a Morningside team next week that stands 8-1. We'll be back with a final word in our player of the game right after this. You're listening to Dordt Football on KIHK and the Dordt Media Network. Back with more in 1 minute.
Dordt's program is a little bit unique in that it's entirely online, but one of the unique pieces is that for every learning module in every single class, we have a synchronous class. Students get a chance to know each other, to interact with each other, to learn from each other. That opportunity is really valued by the students that are in the program. I enjoy that. I enjoy teaching those classes and getting to know those students, but also being able to bring in different people's experiences.
Let me know. Okay, let me know.
Each
Thanks.
year, more students find their place at Dordt University. Through top-ranked academics and athletics, Dordt continues to flourish and grow. But what defines Dordt goes far beyond national recognition. It's an unwavering commitment to prepare graduates to serve in a changing world. But that mission doesn't end at graduation. It continues through the work and leadership of our graduates until all is made new.
So I'm told, unfortunately, my wrap-up moments ago did not go over the Dordt Media Network. I'm going to let KIHK, let you guys, I'm going to sign off on KIHK. Nathan will recap the men's, we'll recap it here on Dordt Media Network. So I'm going to give you a chance, Nathan. You can bail out right now on the KIHK broadcast, and we'll wrap up the Dordt Media Network here. So our player of the game today is Daniel Dickerson. Daniel Dickerson is our player of the game, brought to you by Ross Hoekstra with State Farm, serving Sioux County and the tri-state area. Call Ross, 712-722-0806 for all your insurance needs, or stop by the Sioux Center office next to Dairy Queen. State Farm player of the game today is Daniel Dickerson. That is going to do it for our broadcast this afternoon of Dordt Athletics. This production has been a production done in partnership with the Dordt Media Network, Sioux County Radio, and the Dordt Athletic Communication Office. Dordt Media Network is under the direction of Rich Lodewijk, and the staff is primarily student employees. Broadcast engineer at Sioux County Radio today was Nathan Brook. Dordt Athletic Communication staff is Matt Boss and Isabel Pfeiffer. Color commentary today was provided by Kyle Achterhoff. For all of those individuals, I'm Mike Biker. Have a good afternoon.